Hello.
Okay, she's probably on mute. Yeah, gotta wait for her to.
Hi, Miss Tanya.
Yeah, she's in the restroom.
Mark, we're live.
I know.
Okay.
Yep, I see it. It's
um,
trying to wait for Tanya to get back.
that's okay. No worries. Hi, one and only.
Hello, one and only. One and only.
I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming.
No worry, Miss Tanya.
And welcome everybody in the chat. Please make sure you thumbs up the like button.
One and only.
I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming.
Oh, it's repeating itself.
Oh, I don't know. I'm good, thank you. How are you, one and only?
My bad. I had my other window open. Okay, give me 1 sec.
Okay, no worries, Miss Tanya.
We're good, thank you.
Okay. Okay, where's my little camera thingy?
I'm looking a hot mess right now, so I won't be going on camera.
I just messed my hair up changing shirts. Hey, one and only thick and meaty. Hey, how are you doing? Okay, let's see this camera. Okay. Oh, there we. Ooh, I'm all close. I'm all close. Hold on, let me figure this out. Okay, that's good. I guess that's cool. That's cool. How's everybody doing? You said you're good. That's good.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody for tuning in. Everybody, make sure you hit up the like button. Everybody, you can network on my channel. Just make sure you do it discreetly. Go to somebody's channel, watch a few minutes of a video, click like, leave a genuine comment, and then leave a little tag their name in the chat and put a little TV emoji right next to their name, which Glazy, she done already, put some TV emojis in the chat. So that show you what they look like when you look under objects, under emojis, under objects. So that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. But how are you guys doing, Mark and Glazy?
Good.
That's good. That's good. So what's going on? We're gonna excuse me.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get into the
Hmm?
Maleah Davis thing. That's what we're gonna talk about, right?
Okay, yes, yes. I was
Yeah.
reading up on that and checked out some videos of her
Mm-hmm.
funeral service. That was so sad.
Yeah, so I just wanna give my input on that
Okay, go ahead.
um that when about the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
is just my intake on it, that it was just really sad, and just how, you know just everything about the situation is sad, and it's, words can't really express how I really feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, this little girl was like taken away for no reason.
Right.
And it was, really, um it was just, the mother cared more about a man than her own daughter. I mean, that's the only, that's the only way that I can put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just, just I would not want to watch the funeral at all. Like I'm praying that they didn't film it,
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of being disrespectful towards the little girl, I think.
Yeah. It is really sad. I just watched a few clips of I watched the video, the one video that was really touching to me and probably to some of you others, was the one where they were talking about when they were talking to the people who actually donated her casket.
Mhm.
That really beautiful, beautiful little casket. And how they were saying how when they were making the casket, when they were deciding what colors to use, when they were deciding how creative to be, they said it was like they said it felt like she was actually there, like they could feel her spirit as
Mhm.
they were creating her casket. And they were saying, sometimes they had got stuck. They was like, was she like this color? Was she like this color? Was she like this shade? And they was like, sometimes it would seem like they was like her spirit was there saying, no, not that one. Yes, that one. You know what I mean? That was kind of sad. And like looking at that big guy who worked at the custom casket place, he was like, we was crying, and it was, you could just tell his voice was cracking as he was talking to the the news crew.
Mm-hmm.
That was really sad. I mean, and these people, they didn't know this girl. They didn't know her from Adam. They just heard about it in a story. They lived in Houston, and they was like, that was the most emotional casket or emotional time they've ever had, creating a casket, a custom casket for someone. So that was really like hard to watch, but really touching, really touching.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I wonder if they even knew, like, a lot of people were, they had mentioned, before Maleah, her favorite color was red. She loved My Little Ponies. So they had something to go off of. But I wonder if her mother or any of them knew ahead of time that a casket was being created for her, or if it was a surprise. So I didn't find that out. But either way, I thought it was a nice gesture, a nice homegoing gift for Maleah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Hmm.
But as far as I titled the live, I titled it Maleah Davis What's Next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you guys think is going to happen next with the boyfriend, the mom? You
I
know,
think that they're going to be investigated. I think that um the police is going to do more um investigations when it comes to um Darian Vince and Brittany Bowens. They're going to probably going to be watching them.
hmm
That's just, my personal opinion about it.
Well,
what about CPS down there?
I think Child Protective Services um um might might have might will do better protocol when it comes to this stuff.
hmm Yeah, because a lot of people think CPS just dropped the ball. I agree. They totally dropped the ball. I still don't understand how she got her kids back. I still don't
yeah.
understand. For
Yeah.
them to say the only thing that I keep replaying in my head is how CPS said they have no proof of abuse after that girl's brain, all the surgeries, all the trauma, and they have no reason to believe abuse. I don't know. That's wild. I just couldn't believe,
Mm.
like, you took the child away for 6 months. What kind of investigation did they do? What kind of screening did they do on her mother to get her back? Um, I I worked in the field of, you know, when people, okay, when children are removed from the home and they go to child protective services or the state per se,
Mhm.
you know, when they're like taken away from the home, the parent has to do so much. They have to jump through all these hoops, do cartwheels and all kind of stuff to get their children back. That's usually how it happened. They have to go to these meetings. They got to go to classes. They got to have like supervised visits for so much amount of time. And during those supervised visits, the people who supervising the visits are supposed to like take notes and say how they're interacting, how the mother acts. Does she act like motherly? Does she, all these different things they have to, you know, write down in their report every visit. And with this particular lady, just the way that she was acting on interviews and all that kind of stuff, wasn't Brittany?
Mhm.
The way she was acting on interviews and trying to act like, I mean, some people was believing her act. A lot of
What?
us wasn't. A lot of us could see
A
right
lot of
through
us
it.
could see it really a
Right,
mile away, really.
right.
Mm.
But the same tricks that she played on probably half of America or half of the world is probably what she used on the CPS to get her children back. But
Right.
for what? If you know your boyfriend or fiance is beating your child, why would you even want them back in the home?
She was beating the child though.
And see, that's what a lot of people believe, that it was mainly her. But for some reason, I don't know. I think they both played a part. I mean, you okay? Have you ever heard of this scenario
Mhm.
where women would be beaten or abused, maybe by their spouse or mate or whatnot,
Mhm.
and so they would take out their frustrations on their child.
Yeah.
Then once the
Yeah.
realizes, oh, she doing this, that, and the third to her child, so that gives me some kind of a, you know,
Right to
exactly,
hurt the child.
exactly, because most women like me, and probably like women like a lot of people who watch me, a lot of women I know, when they have children and they meet a guy, maybe start dating, maybe get engaged, maybe get married, maybe still it's only so far you can go with their kids. Like
Mhm.
it's only so far. And you might be able to punish them, put them in the corner, take their cell phones, stuff like that. But giving them spankings, a lot of women, I'll do that part. And I know men who feel the same way. They're like, okay, you can punish my child, you can discipline them, you can ground them and all that. But when it comes to physical punishment, that's my area. That's my area right there. So,
Corporate
right,
corporate
right.
punishment.
Corporate punishment,
Mhm.
corporate punishment. So I don't know. I still, something just tells me that it was more than just Brittany doing the abuse. But in this
I
Yeah,
mean,
I feel that it's more of, I
yeah.
think that that Darian Vince I feel he might have had a part to play in it.
I really do, because it's like, okay, now we had all went down the timeline, right? And when Maleah went missing, her mother was, what state was it?
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
It was in
No, where
Houston.
her father was. Where her father was.
Oh, she was in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts. Okay. And when he was supposed to come pick her up, he wasn't around. He didn't know, she didn't know where Maleah was, she didn't know where he was. I mean, that gives me reason to believe that she did have some part in it, because as I said before when we did our last panel, there's
Oh,
no,
you. Oh, wait a minute. Maleah's biological father
no. I'm
or
talking about,
Brittany's father?
yeah, I'm talking about, no.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
Brittany,
Massachusetts.
yeah, the funeral. But with me, as far as being a mother, a loving, nurturing, hands-on mother, there's no way I can come back into town and all night long not know where my children are.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Mhm.
I feel like she has something to do with it too. But you know, but Glazy, I want you to give us some your insight on Brittany and how you feel about Brittany.
I mean, for me personally, I think Brittany is very cold hearted. She has never really cared for her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And when Davion, is that how you say his name, came into the picture, I think her jealousy for her daughter grew a lot more because he always spent time with the daughter. Now, Brittany, at this current moment in time, is still driving around in the vehicle that had the body of Maleah still in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
normal people wouldn't be able to get back in the same vehicle. They'd have got rid of it
Right.
because it's bad memories. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So even things like that is showing you a part of her mind and her thought process. She's just like let it go over her head, like she doesn't care. And the reason why she's showing not caring because Devion, who's locked up, she believes will take full responsibility for what happened to Malaya. When we all know perfectly well, it was her that murdered her own daughter, and because he loves her so much, he's covering for her. Now, when people are saying that they blame him for some form of abuse, I totally get where they're coming from. But for me, the abuse would be more a case of you knew it was going on and you didn't do anything to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes abuse doesn't naturally need to come from the mind or from the hands. It's by not doing something is a form of abuse as well. A lot of people don't understand that.
I'm sorry, I'm giggling because Mark. I'm like
I
I'm
know
not
he's
doing
always doing his
anything.
noise.
I'm not doing.
Oh,
all
Okay.
flipping
all that
out.
noise.
Okay. I'm not. It's not me. So.
But
I'm like,
it is
oh,
you.
I hear a lot of
It's
rattling
basically
and stuff.
it's Mark. It's Mark for sure. It's always Mark.
That's why I was giggling. So I hope nobody take it the wrong way that I was giggling about what we're
Yeah.
discussing. I was not. I was
No.
just. I was like,
Mark
what
is a
is that?
natural noise person.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead,
Yeah.
Lacey.
Mhm. Yeah. So like, and also, his brother,
Mm-hmm.
he's got something to do with it,
Yeah.
and probably her mother has something to do with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just waiting until they drop the charges on Brittany, on
Mm-hmm.
Devion's brother, and on the mother
Yeah.
because they all covered up
Yeah.
when they knew abuse was going on and they
Yeah.
did nothing about it.
And
Um,
that is so like I don't know. Do you have children, Glazy?
I don't know.
Well, even
Mm-mm.
if you don't have children, if you have like just a motherly nature, if you have little nieces, nephews,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Me personally, I used to joke around with my sons a lot. They're grown, but they don't have children yet. But I
Yeah.
would always tell them, my grandbaby better not ever call me and say you done put your hands on my grandbaby. I'm on my way, and I'm gonna whoop y'all tail. I
Do you
mean,
know?
I can't
Yeah.
picture. I can't imagine my seed, my own, not my seed, my kids, that I birthed into this world, who I never abused and always talked to them about abuse, whether it was sexual, mental, physical, whether it was from a relative, a father, a teacher, a coach. I've always talked to them about abuse and what signs to look for, how to know if
Mm-hmm.
you're abused, because kids don't know that when they're younger. If they don't experience it in the home, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard for them to know of it outside the home. And so I always,
Mm-hmm.
since they were little, could understand the English language. I always taught them, nobody touch you here, nobody do that. Let mommy
Yeah.
do this. You know what I mean? I cannot imagine my children abusing their children or allowing their girlfriend or wife or somebody to abuse their children.
Sorry, you guys. There's a plane flying over. So if
Oh,
that's
that's
if that's
okay.
what you're hearing, that's a plane.
That's okay. But I can't imagine them doing that and then me like covering it up.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
no way, Jose. You know what? Today, before you jump in, Glazy.
mhm.
Today, I was at the grocery store
Yes.
and I had switched bank accounts, so I had to go to the grocery store because I had a live check from work. Normally, I have direct deposit, but I got a live check this pay period because it takes a minute to get to the next direct deposit. So I had to go to the grocery store to cash a check. When I went in the store, I noticed now it's about 70, it was about 75, almost 80 degrees here, right?
Mhm.
And kind of cool, but kind of warm at the same time, kind of muggy, but not extremely hot. And when I got out my car, I noticed next car to me, a truck. And there was a little girl in the car who looked about, I want to say maybe 7. And then in the back seat was a little baby who looked to be maybe 1,
Oh
maybe 2,
wow.
and was crawling all around their car seat, right? And
Yeah.
so me, as a very motherly person, I'm looking like, okay, it's not blazing hot outside, but it's
Mhm.
still warm enough to where if you sit in the car long enough, you're going to get hot. And
Yes.
now the windows were down. So I'm like, okay, you know how the law is. If you spot kids being left in a car, you're supposed to alert the authorities.
Mhm.
I didn't do that right away because I'm like, okay, I'm going to give the benefit of the parent. It's not extremely hot. The windows are down. I don't know exactly the age of this child. I just know what this child looked like. So
Yeah.
I walked in the store, cashed my check real quick, came outside, and the kids were still sitting in the truck. So I jumped in my truck and I'm sitting there. Glazy, I sat there for 15 minutes.
Oh wow.
At
Oh
least
wow.
at least 15 minutes debating. Should I call? Should I not? Should I call? Should I not? And I looked at the car, saw the car was not like, it wasn't super old. I looked at the whole situation. No plates on the car. So the parents probably just got the car. I was just looking at all these things, going on next to me. And I was like, should I call? Should I not call? I was even about to ask the child how old she was. And I was like, no, no, maybe she don't supposed to talk to strangers. I want to
Yeah.
scare her, So I sat
Yeah.
there and I waited like 15 minutes at least. And then I saw the parents coming outside. I was not about to leave that car. Because I'm about to say, if they sitting in this car another 15 minutes, I'm calling. Because that would equal about 45 minutes. But that's what I'm getting to is my motherly nature wouldn't let me leave that parking lot.
Yeah.
Because for one, that child looks really young, but some kids you just can't really say how old they are. I'm just saying she looked like 7 or 8. But again, you're not even allowed to babysit at 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So to be out in a car with a tiny baby in the back seat, the windows down, it's not blazing hot, but it's still warm. I would not leave my children in a car at that age by themselves. Kids get kidnapped every day. And
Yes.
so I sat
Mhm.
there for like at least 15 minutes. At least 15 minutes. And I stayed there until the mother came out and then I drove off. But if it would have been another 15 minutes after I, was sitting out there, because I went in the store, came back out, sat another 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm calling because I don't feel comfortable leaving. You know,
Mhm.
so, but she came out like 5 minutes later, and I really wanted to say something to her, but I didn't because I knew I had a live at 7 o'clock. I was trying to hurry up and get home. But yeah, what I'm getting at is I can't see nobody physically abusing a child and not do anything because it's not in me. So the mother, like, your children. When you have children, Glazy, you gonna know your children. You gonna know which one is lying about that, which one is lying
Mhm.
about this, which one is telling the truth about that. A teacher could call you and tell you any kind of scenario, and you'll be like, or yes, they did. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna know because you're gonna know your child.
Yeah.
But her mother, the abuse that daughter went through, and then with the missing and all this kind of stuff, you would just know in your spirit if something happened to your grandbaby because you would know your child. And when you said that you think that the mother might be involved, or the mother might know, the grandma, I mean, the grandma might know something, I
Yes.
believe you. I really do believe that. That she probably was covering up too.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
really do.
A grandparent always knows when there's an issue.
Always.
Do you know what I mean? And like, I think more than anything else, that's probably the reason why they fell out. 'Cause remember when they first come on the news and they said the mother
Hmm.
and the daughter had fallen out? It
Yep.
was probably over that because she knew that her daughter had something to do with it. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's not as clear cut as people would like to think. You
Hmm.
know?
Yeah. And YS Brooks, I could have. It was
Yeah.
it was really in me. I mean, it was and don't get me wrong, I've done it before. Don't get me wrong. I've done it before, but the last time I did it, it was a car with the windows up, and it was a warm day and the windows was up, and I sure did. I didn't even think about it that time. This was a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, and I sure did. I called 911 and told them the car, gave them the license plate number and all that kind of stuff, and they came out. So I've done it before. Trust me on that. But this time I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and I don't know. My heart was like being tugged both directions. So I'm just hoping I hope that would be her last time. I hope.
Mm.
But again, the reason why I didn't immediately call was because I didn't know how old that child was, and it was not extremely hot. It was warm, but it was not extremely hot. If it would have been like in the 90s or something like that, yeah, because I'm not afraid to call the law on anytime I see something that I think is wrong when it comes to children. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that we all feel that way when it comes to children and little kids and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I mean, some parents are crazy. Like, you could be stood near the vehicle worrying over that child you see locked in the car, and they could be thinking you're up to something when it's
Hmm.
actually them what's in the wrong by locking the children in the car in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? Hi, Roxanne.
Hey,
How are you doing today,
Roxanne,
girl?
welcome.
Roxanne. YS Brooks and Roxanne, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys probably already have, but make sure you hit the like button. I'm like, we got 10 likes. That's cool. But why we got a thumbs down? And I know people always tell me, Tanya, ignore the thumbs downs, but it just kills me how you could be talking about something positive, or,
They just want to be when it's drama and BS.
Well, I'm going to say thank you for the thumbs down. I really appreciate it because that still counts. So
that's
that's doing
thinking
me and
of you.
Tanya a great service. So thank you
Yep.
so much for
So
that.
thank you so much for the thumbs down.
As
Yeah.
they say, we
But yeah, this conversation is need to have
yeah, it
as
is.
a panel, because this is something that should have never ever should have happened to this little girl.
I
Okay, this should have never had happened
agree.
because CPS failed when it came to this little girl, and now this little girl won't be able to become a grown woman because of CPS, you know, dropping the ball when it came to this little girl. They
Mhm.
knew that she was being abused.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. They knew that she was being abused. They um um co- I'm trying to find the right word to say. They
Mm.
took Maleah away from Brittany Bowens and stuff the first time,
Mhm.
and they just gave Brittany Bowens back Maleah back gave Maleah back to Brittany Bowens um without really doing further research on it.
I agree. Yep, I agree. And they had said that they had received a report of allegations of physical abuse. I don't know called it in or anything like that, but they said they had received reports of allegations of abuse back in last August. And that was after, she suffered from that head injury when they said she fell out her chair and hit her head on the dining room table or dinner table or something like that. Um, but so her and her brother had went into CPS, but they were allowed to visit her mother. Her mother, Brittany, was allowed to visit Maleah and visit her older brother once a week, every Saturday, while they were in CPS. The biological dad, though, he didn't visit. They said they didn't know why he wasn't visiting, but for some reason he never visited the kids when they were in CPS. But I guess if he's not really in the picture, you know, I don't know, because wasn't he at the the balloon? Remember the balloon release in the
Yes.
he
Yeah,
was
he
there,
was.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
As far
I
as
was
I know, he was
kind of,
there.
and I can't lie, I was kind of surprised that he was there, but I'm glad he was there nevertheless. But I was kind of surprised because he really hasn't been in the picture, and wasn't there to get her out of CPS, didn't visit the kids when they was in CPS.
Well,
I don't know.
to be fair, we don't fully know the
Right,
situation about the CPS thing. We
right.
don't actually fully know. So we don't know what happened behind the scenes and before that came up, why he wasn't about.
Yeah.
So I think it would be unfair for us to how can I say now, not to be disrespectful, to assume if we don't fully know those answers. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Because I don't know why he wasn't there, but I don't know if something's happened prior to that.
And that's why I said I've been saying for the longest, I wish he would come forward and speak up, because we all know that things don't add up. We all know that things don't add up when it comes to this case. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people believe that Brittany was involved or knew that her daughter was being
Yeah.
abused. But you can't just help wonder the biological father, as far as when they were searching and all that kind of stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, and then he popped up at the balloon release. And so, I mean, we can't say why he wasn't there. It
Yeah.
could have been situations where Brittany and him, you know how it goes. The
Yes.
parents, they be feuding, they be fighting, they can't stand each other, can't be around each other.
Of course.
It could be a lot of things. But I would love to hear how he, or what he, if he believes, Maleah was hurt by her mother, or
Mm-hmm.
because they were together for some time before Maleah
Yeah.
was born, so he might be able to fill us in on a few things, like how Brittany Davis is, you know, what I mean, like
Yeah,
how
of
she was
course.
when they were together.
Yeah, of
Right.
course. And then Roxana's put in the chat, abusers always say they fell, which
Yes,
is correct. They
yes,
always use that same
That's
line.
always the
Yeah.
case.
they fell out a tree. They fell off the slide. They fell off the monkey bars. They slid down the stairs. You right, Roxanne. You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because that's like the most logical thing with children. Children fall a lot. We know that. Children fall a lot. But I'm sorry. The head trauma she received and all the stitches and all the surgeries from falling out of a chair that's only like a feet and a half off the ground. Nah.
And that's what I'm saying. She was failed by the grandmother at that stage because the grandmother was there when that happened. She knows it happened in their house, so she knows the truth.
Mhm.
And of course, they would have expected the daughter to come forward and speak the truth. She didn't.
Yeah.
Clearly, I can only speculate that that's the reason why they fell out, because she knew what
Mark,
was going
Mark,
on.
Yes.
what's that? What's that noise? It's like
I know
you
Mark is
can't hear
so
Glazy clearly.
noisy. He does it all
Well,
the
I'm sorry. I'm
time.
trying to. Okay. Okay. Hold on one second.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go make some toast, and so you're making all heap of noise. Let me go make 2 pieces of toast.
All
Do you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Does it sound bad now?
No, it
No,
sounds good now, but I couldn't hear Glazees over all that noise.
he does it all the time. Like, his
Okay.
microphone is
Well.
super sensitive. It's like the best microphone ever.
I know his microphone picks up everything.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, Roxanne is right. They always say they fail.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like little baby, she never had a voice. She never had one because, like, I was watching a video when she was talking to someone, and I didn't realize she couldn't really speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
the
she
reason
had
why she
like she
wasn't
has
able to let anyone
challenges.
know. Excuse me, please. That's why she wasn't able to let anyone know she was being abused because she
Mm-hmm.
couldn't speak,
Yeah.
and which is really sad. I don't know if that's because of the head injury or what, but at that age, she couldn't say anything. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering too. Was it from the head injury?
Well, let me.
Some learning disabilities ahead of
Yeah,
that.
I,
yeah.
I
Let me.
didn't hear what Miss Tanya said. What did she say?
No, I was saying I was wondering if it was due to her head injury or if maybe she already had some learning disabilities beforehand. Maybe I
Oh yes, of course. I'm not.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
that's a
can I
point.
please get in the word? So I just want to get in the word. So
go
this
ahead.
is that's what I was getting ready to say. That I think it was the father or the step. I don't remember which one it was, but they did indicate that she um had developed with learning disabilities and she had trouble speaking.
And that was
I
before.
do remember them. Someone said that. I forgot where it came from, but I do remember that 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 was said about Brittany. I mean not Brittany. Maleah Davis that she had all these learning disabilities and like speech impairment.
Now was that Mark? Was that before or after?
That was before.
Okay, okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
that
we
would
don't.
make sense too. And then the head trauma
Can
that
I just
probably didn't
say?
help.
Can I just say? Sorry for being rude.
Hmm.
Like we don't actually know when the abuse actually started, so we don't actually know if she was born with disabilities
Right.
or it was developed as soon as the hands were getting put on the baby.
Exactly.
So we don't actually know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because
Mhm.
I mean, depending on the abuse or the extent of the abuse, like her hitting her head on the so-called table from falling out the so-called chair, um,
Yeah.
depending on the extent of the abuse, it could have been something that happened ahead of time that
Mhm.
affected her learning disability as well. Because I really hate when I see people hitting their child in the head. I
Yes.
I seen this recently. I seen this recently. I seen somebody tell their child stop, do what something that popped them upside their head real hard.
Oh wow.
I'm like, I hate that. I'm like, why out of all places, why do you hit your child in the head? I mean, and it's different if you just tap them on their head or something like but to like just hit them hard like on their head. Like
Yeah.
at a young age, that can be really detrimental to their learning
Yeah.
capabilities.
That's true. That's not a cool thing to do.
It's not. It's not. I'm like, what happened to just spanking your child on the bottom? you know,
Do you know that doesn't
or
actually work.
popping them on the hand, or hitting them on their little leg, or just what I mean.
Oh,
See,
I used to get whooped with a belt.
Yeah,
no, no, no,
some
no, no, no,
people
no,
used to
no.
be able to
Do
the
you know
belt.
what? Like them things used to happen to me as a child, and it brings on a lot of stress and memories, and I don't like it. And I always promised that when I have a child going forward, they're going to treat me the same way my teacher did at school. When I did something naughty, they would put me in the corner with my face in the corner. You know what I mean? And that works better than a slap or a hit on the back of the leg or on the back of the arm or wherever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
It
that
works,
worked. That
especially when
worked
the
for some
favorite,
kids.
especially when the favorite cartoon is on and they want to watch it. It's like, oh no, don't you remember the other day when you disrespectful, face in the corner.
No TV.
That works. Let me tell you something. That works. A quick little. I've seen it even in school, like a quick smack. It's a bit of sting for a minute, then you go back to your old ways. If you
Right.
do that with their favorite TV channel or the favorite toy, whatever, take away, make them stand in the corner, face the corner. They will learn that lesson for good, and they'll never do it again. You don't have to put your hands on no child. Do you know what I mean? I've done that with my niece. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
you
And she's
know
very
what?
well respected. Pardon?
What worked for me Like, okay, like I know a lot of people. I done heard a lot of people say once my sons, because I have two sons, so I heard a lot of people say once their sons got older, and anybody who knows me personally, they know my oldest son is he's really tall. He's built like a linebacker. He played football all his life, track, basketball, so he's really stocky and built. And he's like way taller than me. And so people would joke around. I know when he gets such and such age, you won't be able to do nothing. Da, 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 da. See, the one thing about me and my children, that the reason why they still live at home and go to college is because they got sense.
Yeah.
As I say, I always tell people it started from the time they can understand the English language. I'm mama, you child. Me mama, you child. You do what I say, I don't do what you say. And
Yeah.
I mean, it starts from
Right.
a young age. But I see it. I done seen it time and time again where I'm looking at parents with these young kids and they do whatever the hell they want, talking to their parents however the hell they want, and then they laughing about it or they joking about, oh, did you hear him cuss? He said the F word. Oh, that's so cute. Laughing at
No, that's not
like,
cute.
No,
oh, that's
that's
not
not
cute.
parenting.
That's not cute. And I always
That's
told
being
my son,
friends.
Like,
That's
yeah,
being
did you
friends.
hear him say the F word?
No, no,
yeah.
no,
And look
no,
at him
no.
cussing at her, and he gave her the finger, and all that. So they laughing. No, that is
No.
not cute.
That's
That's not
being a
cute at all.
friend to your child. There's a difference between being a friend with your child and being a parent of a child. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody is being my friend who's my child. And when they call me, they're not calling me by Evie. Oh, hell no. They're calling me
Mm-hmm.
mummy.
Mommy.
Point blank, period.
Right. I
They're not
call
going to be
anybody your
silly
first
and call me by my
name.
first. Oh, hell no.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
No.
mm-mm.
That's where it first came from, by calling you the first name. That ain't happening. I said that's
Yeah.
nothing.
Well,
No.
Oh,
I have two big boys, 18 and 22. And to this day, they still do what I ask them. They got their
That's
set
right.
chores. They got their set chores. Keep your room clean. You can do whatever you want. You can go be with your friends, hang out all day, whatever, as long as you do certain things.
Yeah.
It's always been like that. I've never had a problem with them because I instilled that when they were young. It's like when you have children, a lot of these new parents nowadays, these younger generation, they let their kids get away with murder.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You see them
Yeah.
at the grocery store, you see them at church, or you see them on somebody's house jumping off the walls and swinging on the chandelier, and I'm looking like,
Mm-mm.
what the?
No.
That's when did this start happening? When did
Yeah.
this start happening? And I didn't have to beat them like my teenagers. Oh, I mean, take their cell phone, take a
Yeah.
video game, uh, tell them they can't go to the Friday night games, tell them they can't play in a game.
Yeah.
That's all I had to do with mine. That's
That's
all
what
I
I'm
had to do
saying.
with mine.
That is what I'm saying. Like, you have to be careful,
Right.
because, like, the company your children are keeping with. You know what I mean? You have to keep an eye on them, because these days you don't know what kind of people are going to be approaching your children and twisting their minds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in this case with the grandmother, I'm just like, I just, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the grandma because it had to be other people who knew what was going on. It had to be.
The thing is, like, you have to understand it from another point of view as well. A lot of people, they're not willing to step forward and say anything because they don't know and they don't want to be pointing fingers. Do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because sometimes you can get in trouble for false allegations.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So you have to be very careful. You can't walk and talk on things you're not 100% sure on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me
Yeah.
personally, I don't give a rat's ass. If I see one mark on that child, trust me, I'll be learning how to speak baby talk so I can know exactly what's going on. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'll
Yeah.
just say, like, what's happened there? Who's done that? And then within minutes, we're at the police station. Point
Mhm.
blank
Right.
period, because I don't play. When it comes to children, I don't play at all. Even if the child is
What is
lying,
that, Mark?
I don't care if the child is lying. We're going
Glazy?
to the police station. Yes,
Glazy?
ma'am.
One moment, Glazy. Mark. What is that?
No, it's not
I'm
Mark.
eating.
It's me. It's actually me making the noise.
Okay.
I'm making some toast and I put the things in the microwave for Wanda to eat it.
It
So for
sounds
once,
like somebody
I'm doing a
slurping up some
Mark.
ramen noodles. It sounds like,
Oh no, that's me. No, seriously, that's me.
was
Is
that
that you
you?
making noise now as well?
That's me. I'm eating watermelon. Okay,
I knew I heard slurping.
that's me.
Oh, is that you slurping? Well, you're gonna hear me munching on my toast.
Well, I'm. Look, this is healthy.
Let me
Sugar
find
that I'm
some.
eating.
Lazy
Oh,
got toast. Mark got watermelon. Let me find some.
Fine. Okay.
oh
Let me
gosh.
go to the
I've just
refrigerator.
seen in the room that Wybrook said my daughter is 27 and that
Mhm,
look still works on her daughter, which is great. That you can just look at the daughter, the nose like, who's in
mhm.
charge.
Same here,
Well,
She also
Myers
says
Brooks.
my grandnephew once told you, Mum, you blank what you blank blank get out that blanking bathroom. Oh gosh.
Mhm.
I pounded on the door. I couldn't believe it. He said that. That's why my dad says to my mum. Wow.
That
I
works
hope I've
here,
read that
Myers
correctly.
Brooks. That works here. I'm telling you. I can go in my 18-year-old son room and be like, now you know you need to go wash some dishes. And he'll be laying there like, now you know you better go wash some dishes. Okay, mom, I'm coming. I'll tell you, give him that look like, I
Mhm.
have that look. Y'all see the nice Tanya, the Tanya who's always laughing and being
Yeah.
funny and all that. That's how I
Hmm.
am in real life. But my
Yeah.
sister will tell you I'll go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. Okay, I'm not playing with you. You see this face?
Hmm.
You see this face? Do you want me to take that cell phone for like 2 days? Dude, they be running around here trying to clean up the whole house.
right.
Like, okay, mom, okay, mom. Can I have my cell phone back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have your cell phone back. But yeah,
It's just learning life skills. You know what I mean?
yeah. All kids don't need whooping. All kids need spanking.
Hmm.
But hey, every kid is not the same.
Mark,
Every
what the
kid is
dickens
not
is that noise? Oh my god, are you
That's me.
eating
I'm
food?
eating a watermelon.
That sounds like
the
that
same.
was a
He
bit
is
of noise
going
coming
to
from the
town.
cereal.
He
I
is
told you. I love watermelon. I love watermelon.
okay. Well, we gonna have to start eating before we do
No, you're right. You're
before we
right.
do because that's all you hear is this noise and this,
Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm done.
or at least hit the mute button.
It makes so much noise. It's well for now.
Well, but I agree with everything you guys were saying.
Ah,
Oh wow.
okay, I get it.
Even YS Brooke says that noise is annoying. See, Mark. Not everybody
Um.
wants to hear you sucking down on a watermelon.
Well,
No, YS books, we getting it together. We getting it
we're
together.
getting it together. Sorry, I was eating something. I was
It's always
hungry.
Mark making noise. Always, always.
Yeah, sorry.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But yeah, so I'm hoping that back to Maleah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back to
Y'all
Maleah.
get off track sometime, and that's good. That's cool. Um, but back to Maleah. I really hope. I don't know. I don't understand what's taking so long with them. I mean, I know they probably trying to dot their I's, cross their T's, because the what they don't want is to go to court and have the jury or anybody have one sliver of doubt that the parents were not involved, or the
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend was not involved. So I'm sure they're trying to make sure they cross their I's. I mean, T's, dot their I's, before they because they got him in jail. They got him in
They
jail.
got him in jail.
Yeah, they got him in jail. I mean, he's been in jail literally, but they finally like charged him like a week or so ago. With what was it? First was it
What first degree
with evidence and
evidence?
but I'm waiting to find out if there's going to be any charges on her. So I really think they're probably
Yes.
low
100%.
key.
That's what we need is to
Matt,
what?
the
I'm cleaning
noise.
up my house. Like I don't. I'm
It's
sorry, but
very
Mike.
loud.
Oh Lord.
I'm cleaning up my house. Like I don't care.
Give it
Shit.
like a mouse then. Do it quiet, tippy toe.
It's
Okay,
really,
I'll do it quietly. Okay, I'll do it quietly.
really
I'll
you
do it quietly.
don't hear it on the other end, but it's really loud.
Okay, well I guess I got a damn good mic then.
Yeah,
So
you do. But I think they're probably discreetly still investigating her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't wait because I know they're gonna come out with something, and I know they're gonna press some kind of charges on her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
That's
just
for
I'm just
sure.
waiting on it. I'm just waiting on it.
Yeah.
And again, I still believe that CPS should be partially responsible.
Mm-hmm.
They something should happen where her family, the ones who really care, adore, and love this child, should get some kind of compensation.
You know,
Whether I don't
well,
know, see the
they're
thing
gonna
is,
come
I
off.
don't know who it is. I don't know if
They are
that
going
is bad or the grandma or who would that be.
whoever.
two things. First of all, they are gonna try and make someone a scapegoat for the
Mhm.
CPS, and they'll fire someone and make them scapegoat. So that's all cleared up. And number two, they're gonna find a jury very hard to find because this story is nationwide already, or worldwide, I should say. So it's going to be very hard to
Yeah,
find juries that are
everybody in
impartial
different
because
countries know about this.
everybody has already
Mhm.
convicted them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm And and sometimes that can be a good or bad thing depending on the case. Like in certain cases, like let's say and when they see us, the Central Park Five, when the
Mm-hmm.
whole world was convicting them before they were even convicted. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, okay, it can be a good thing or a bad thing. Like in a situation where it seems like, okay, this person really did this, they got real evidence, they got, documented testimonies, statements, proof, evidence, this particular situation where that man said, I know where you can find Maleah Davis. Now, if the whole world is already out there putting him under the jail cell, oh well. In that kind of situation, I'm like, okay, well, it might do him some bad, but come on now. We know
Wait a minute.
he has something to do
Hold
with
on.
it.
Hold on, Miss Tanya. You're
hmm
speaking way ahead again. Remember what I said the last time?
Yeah,
We
I
don't know.
remember.
We don't know where he got that
I
information from.
remember.
We know
I
that he
know
had to
because you
go
said it
into the
might have came from
cell
X.
room. But how do we know that it wasn't Brittany that told him where the body was, and that's why QX stopped speaking to her?
It
How
could
do
have
we
been.
know?
It could have been Brittany. It could have been X. But my point is, he had something to do with it.
Oh yeah.
So, like a lot of people might be saying, "Oh, he's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty." Sometimes, the world, the outside is right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting
Mhm.
at. He was the one. He was the one who did though say, as far as we know, just from what we know, from what
Yeah.
or should I say, from what we heard,
Yeah.
he the one who told them where he could find the body. But see, my thing is also this: if Brittany was the one who told, because like I remember when you was talking about X, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember you said something about you think he probably already knew,
Yeah.
where the body was before he
Mm-hmm.
went in there and talked to him. But if he really already knew, why wouldn't he say that before he went to talk to?
Because he couldn't. He couldn't. Because it's all
He
about the money.
couldn't.
That's
Yep.
why he had to make sure he let them other people knew, the third party with the cadaver dogs, what went looking for the body. That's
I mean, why
that
didn't he tell the police that Brittany? If Brittany really told him this, why didn't he just go to the cops and say Brittany said?
because they all that done for perjury. Because he kept his mouth shut.
But see, the way he's making it seem like Darion did the crime, though.
It's a whole setup.
Oh Lord,
Mhm.
Lord,
This
Lord.
story has so many twists and turns. It could even be made into a movie. That's how.
Oh, it's going to become a movie. This is
Oh yeah.
going to become a movie. I believe that.
Mhm.
I do believe that. Yeah. And I don't know. It'll probably Lifetime will probably. Ooh, I think Lifetime would probably do a good job on this one.
As long as Wendy Williams isn't directing it, it should be fine.
Oh Lord, you said Wendy Williams.
Yeah. I'm sorry. She's a rubbish director.
Oh.
She messed up the whole Alea story. Lord have mercy.
Lord, Lord, poor Wendy Williams, poor Wendy Williams. You know she's dealing with a lot of stuff right now herself. She needs to. I think she should have took a longer break. Me personally,
Lord have mercy.
take a year
Mm-mm-mm.
off. Chill, just retire. Go,
She's on that rebound guy. It's like, girl,
that young guy. What's his name? Did y'all find out his name?
I'm not interested in him. I also know he's 27. He's
I
rebound
know
on
he's
rebound.
young. Yes, girl. She done went. Ooh, she done went Stella. She done went Stella all the way.
Mm-hmm.
All the way.
Exactly. Gonna backfire. But yeah,
But Maleah
you're in
Davis.
the chat has said he's the fall guy. There has to be one. You're
Mm.
so true. You're so true because nobody knows exactly what's happened. Only the people involved. And we're
Yeah.
hearing it third, fourth, fifth
Yeah, or
time.
yeah, like or the people that were living in that household.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the grandmother.
And the I still think the grandmother knew. And I'm not saying the grandmother knew that who killed or that her grandbaby was dead. I'm saying before that, like the abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying there is no way in heaven or hell that I could know my grandbaby is being abused and I not do anything or say anything or try to.
Yes, Roxanne, we saw it.
Mm. Yeah, Mo Power, you right. He probably is the fall guy. He probably is. Roxanne said, "Did the guy see the pony?" Yeah,
It's
Yes.
beautiful. It's
that was
absolutely beautiful. That
beautiful.
rainbow. Yeah.
They had the inside decorated with all the ponies. Oh my god, that was like, you know what that reminded me of? Not to be joking about it at all, and that
What
kind
does it remind? What?
of that show, Pimp My Ride. I'm sorry,
Oh
it did.
yeah. I know what you
It
mean.
did because
Yeah.
they turn a normal casket into beauty until you can literally like imagine
Yeah.
Maleah resting so peacefully in that casket, like being so happy with that, with just the outcome of the casket. I mean, just so peacefully, that beautiful little sweet innocent girl.
I mean, I only managed to see the coffin by itself. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't watch the actual stuff what was going on because it's too emotional for me.
Yeah, it
Like
is.
I know I haven't physically
Oh,
got
wait a minute. So
children.
they did stream the services?
They've shown the coffin.
No, I was just talking about the coffin. I just saw the
Oh,
video.
they only showed the coffin, but they didn't like broadcast the
I can't
services.
I can't say yes and I can't say
Yeah,
no.
I can't say yes or no. I just saw the video. I
Yeah.
watched videos of the coffin and the people who designed the coffin. But
That was it for me. I couldn't. It's too emotional.
yeah, it was emotional listening to them talk about the coffin. I mean,
Mm.
they were, you could tell that they were holding their tears back. These big guys who work in that custom, coffin or casket shop, they were holding back tears. You can just tell. And they were like, when they were all done, everybody just cried. Everybody just cried after they completed it, finished the last stroke, the last brush of
Yeah.
that casket. They said everybody just cried in the shop.
Because the thing is, when you think about her age and the little life she had to live, it's like she was abused by everybody.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
and
mean?
neglected.
Yeah.
The effect touched everyone. And
Mhm.
like,
Yes,
if you don't
everybody.
want your child, then let other people who want to have a child look after the child. Remember, the baby, she was going to be going to a new people to look after her and the brother, and they took that away from her.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
need to justify why.
yeah. CPS is not doing enough. They're not. They're making excuses on why they felt like they should have sent the child back. They
It's,
they
they were failed. The judge at the courtroom turned around and said they need to go for parenting classes. They never
They
even
never
went.
went.
It wasn't completed, and they sent the children back. So I don't know whether the court system thought they actually went through the training, or if somebody fabricated because they couldn't be asked checking upon them. Do you know what I mean? And signed up the paperwork to say that they did do it, even though they know they didn't.
And that's what I was saying earlier. When children are separated from their families, children, if anybody might be watching who might have been in that situation, you don't have to talk about it in the chat, but they I'm sure they know a little bit about it. When they have those meetings, everybody is there. The caseworker is there. The person who supervises the business is there. The parents are there. The counselors are. I mean, everybody has a meeting to determine if this person or mother or father or whoever should get their children back, and everybody has to speak.
Yeah.
And it's kind of when you're talking about it, like you kind of feel kind of like pressure, like under pressure, because the parents are sitting right there and you got to tell what you think. Like, well, I noticed this, or I think this, or I don't know about this, or you have to say that in the meeting about the parents, no matter if the parents seem, because some parents, they might be ex-cons, they might be ex-drug dealers, they might be ex-addicts, they might be, no matter what the parent condition or their past, you have to sit there and talk about that parent, whether it's good or bad, and it can be a little pressure in that. But I would hope nobody would just blatantly lie and say, oh yeah, they did all the classes, they did all this, and they met all the requirements, give them their kid back.
You know what? You'd be surprised, Miss Tanya.
I know.
If you're a social worker and you've got a caseload on, they even do it in England as well. Sorry for clapping. They even do it in England. Like, they will sign off on things. They'll go and visit. They'll sit down. They'll probably talk to the parent, and the child will be off in a different room. They don't ever see the child, and they sign it off because they've got that much of a back caseload. They can't be asked following everything through and checking. Now, if that was me,
right
and
there.
they put you on targets. They put you actually on targets. So you got this amount of time to spend with each child, and it's not enough. That's because it takes time to develop a relationship with a child and get to know them. And like a lot of the times when you want to interview the child, the parents are there, so they can't do anything. They can't speak. They're not free. They feel intimidated. They're scared because the parents have threatened them, said, if you say anything, I'll break your neck when the person's gone. Do you know what I mean? So all of those, you got to take on all those things out. To be a social worker and to go through all that CPS, whatever, you have to be very, very good at your job to pick up on signs. Now, Roxanne from the UK has just put in the chat, one of my grandnephews was brutally murdered by his foster parent, and he was only 3.
Oh.
And he said, parents, please, I don't want to go back.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And you can see what she's wrote now. He said that she would choke him and punch him and burn him. Do you know what I mean?
Is so sad. That is so sad.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody who abuses children deserve a special place in hell. The most fiery of the fieriest of the pits in hell. Anybody who abuses children. It's so sad. It's one thing to abuse somebody as a grown person and abuse another grown person who may be smaller than you, but they're still grown. But to abuse a child who cannot defend themselves, it's just so sad. It's horrific. I just can't stand it. I can't stand it.
You know what? And I clearly have empathy through all parents that go through something, or people who know someone in the families who have been hurt by abuse and all types of different crimes. Because if you think about it as well, and this may come a little bit rude, what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it. Why focus just on Maleah? Like, it's happened to lots of other children. Like Roxanne just said, it's happened to someone who she knew, one of her grandnephews. And I just find it very strange how they select certain children to put in the newspaper and highlight about, but not others. And it's like, they're left to deal with things on their own. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And their stories isn't highlighted. Now, if
Yeah.
you think about it, if you had to highlight every single story of abuse, murder, kidnappings, rape, all those type of things, what's happening to children, it'd be too much.
There would be no more room in any kind of
Exactly.
media for any kind of thing.
Right.
You know
So
what,
my thing
Gracie?
is, why is it the children? Why is certain children selected to be highlighted over others? What about them? Do you know what I mean? Not to take away anything from anybody, but what about them has made their case stand a lot more forward than everybody else's? Is it because we naturally know the people are guilty? So, because I've noticed that with most cases, the ones that have come forward are the parents that have killed the children or abused the children. And it's
Or
like that
they left,
already know.
or if they left children like in the woods or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's happened numerous times, and they get highlighted. The others who were children, do you know what I mean? Just the average Joe children, their
Well,
stories are never heard about.
well, you know, I think it's kind of like murders of grown-ups. You know, let's say cops
Yeah,
murdering unarmed black guys, anybody unarmed. I'll just say
yeah,
anybody unarmed. Some of them get way more media because people who are close to that situation and they making sure that their loved one is not forgotten, or make
yeah,
sure that police station or their city doesn't just sweep it under the rug. I think this is the case with Maleah. Okay, all the things that were done for Maleah, the rallies, the marches, all that
yeah.
kind of stuff,
Hmm.
things like that makes it stay a little bit higher in the news report. But what I wanted to get at also about everything you just said, um, also, us as just people, period, citizens, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, neighbors, co-workers, aunties, uncles, whatever,
Yeah.
we have to be more diligent as well.
Hmm.
When you
Mhm.
see a child get abused, because you know what, when I was growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I think almost everybody abused their kids when I was growing up. Almost everybody. Almost.
Hmm.
Because back then it wasn't really a big deal with law enforcement as far as what you do to your child, what you spank them with. I mean, we were getting spanked in school when I went to a Christian school,
Oh,
a
really? Oh,
paddle
wow.
board
Oh yeah.
Oh,
with
hell
a
no.
board. The board, it was a
Mm-mm.
paddle board. It was about 2 inches thick, and it says "stop" in red letters on both sides.
Oh, wow.
And if you didn't want to get paddled, then you would have to write from the Bible, starting in Genesis,
From
for
the
a whole
Bible.
week. Yes, honey.
Wait, hold on. What type of school did
I
you
talked
go
about this
to?
before. I talked about this before. This was a Christian school I went to for
Damn.
some time, a couple of years when I was younger,
Oh,
and
girl.
basically this Christian school had came to the hood, and had started handing out pamphlets and stuff. They went to all the churches in the neighborhood, started handing out all these pamphlets, recruiting children to come to their Christian school.
Oh, Lord.
My mother sent us because she thought it might make a difference in our life. Like some people send their kids to Christian Catholic schools, to get
Uh-huh.
them off the streets, you know. And so we went for a few years, and it was like if you got in trouble with something in school, you either got paddled, and if you didn't want the paddle, then you had to literally, like what they call in school most of the time, they call it like sack or in-house suspension. And for the total hours of school, you have to be in there, and you have to write word
Oh.
for word from the
Right.
Bible, starting in Genesis 1, verse 1. For the entire week,
Wow.
you were just writing Bible verses, just writing what's in the Bible. And if you didn't do that, then you
Oh,
would get.
wow.
So a lot of children got whooped by extension cords,
Oh,
by
Lord.
by
Mm-mm.
brooms. By back in the day, that was like not uncommon for a child to get whooped with a extension cord, or
Damn.
or whatever the parent picked up in the house. You know what I mean?
Well,
So,
Well, in the chat there, YS Brooks says, "Me too, a ruler to the knuckles."
yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
See, when I was in school, if anything happened, they couldn't touch me at all. Because I remember the one time, Mr. Wilson, who was the music teacher, he wanted to give me the bass guitar to play, and I didn't want to play it. I wanted to play the violin. So he turned around and said to me to stretch out my hands, and I went, "What for?" And he goes, "I'm giving the ruler." I said, "Okay, then I'm going to ring my mum then, and we'll soon see about that." I ran my mum come down to school road, and she pinned him up at the wall by her hand on his neck. And they never tried it on with me ever since then. They never, ever, ever. Do you know what I mean? Because they didn't realise my mum was fresh from Jamaica. She doesn't joke. She doesn't play it, and she will beat up a man. They never, ever did that to me ever again.
I heard that. I heard that. See, and that's the kind of person I am. I don't play when it comes to my kids. If I'm not abusing my kids, you're not going to abuse my kids. Not physically, verbally, mentally, nothing at all. Nothing. And my kids already know. I'm telling you. Sometimes they be like, "Dang, should we tell mama? Should we not tell mama that this happened?" Because they already know who did what.
Exactly. Oh,
Right.
Let me put on my shoes and grab my keys.
Where that was my mom.
That was me. That was me.
Was frog marching down to that school road.
Yeah. The teacher said, "What? They called you what? Oh, hell no." I done told y'all before. How one time I was banned from all the basketball games in our city for 3 months. I was banned because of this coach, this basketball coach, who was verbally and mentally abusing the children on the basketball team and would cuss out the parents. And I mean, it was a lot. I'm not gonna go into all of it, but it was a lot. And when I took my last straw, I stormed up in there in his office, and when I say I went ham, eggs, and bologna, the security guards was dragging me out to school. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. And next thing I know, I couldn't go to any schools in the district for a basketball game.
Oh wow!
It was like, I don't care. Shoot, whatever. I don't care. Shoot, you ain't gonna disrespect my child, not mine. Sure, and disrespect me. I mean, he would like flip out on the parents. You could just ask him a simple question, like, just a simple question. He would flip out. He was so rude and disrespectful, and all the other parents, we would all talk about it and have meetings, but nobody would stand up to him. So, I did. And then after it was all over with, I got in the car and told my son, I said, "I'm sorry." You mean, Mom, you sorry? He deserved that. My son was like, he deserved that. All the friends, all the parents on the team was like,
yeah.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. That coach was fired a few months later.
Yeah.
A few months later. So, sometimes you just have to stand up when you know something is wrong, when you know a child is being abused or mistreated or you got to stand up whether that's your child or not.
Yeah. It's true.
So, and a lot of people like to look away. You see bruises. You see a child never want to go home. You see a child looking like they're not eating. They're losing a lot of weight. They're always asking, can they come over your house to eat or something like that? I mean, some of us is just like, I don't want to get in it. I don't want to get in it.
And that's the thing, like, if you see something, and I know we're in a culture where it's like, mind your business. But if you see something in a child, then even if I suspect it, I can't keep it to myself. Not within my heart. Because in my mind, I always think to myself, like, if I was that child, I would want someone to protect me. So me being an adult, it's my duty and care to make sure I report or
child
say
abuse.
something. Yeah, even if it's wrong. Because I've done it before. I've gone to police stations. Listen, I don't know if it's a true or something, but this child looks like this, this child looks like that. And anytime I see this child, the child's always outside. I don't see the parents. I don't know what the hell's going on. Can you send someone around just to do a welfare check?
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong in doing that. There's nothing wrong in saying just do a welfare check and see there. The child had never been inside the house for about a week or whatever. The child had been sleeping in the back garden because the parents had gone on holiday and no one knew. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that was so wrong. And I thought to myself, like, where have the child been eating then? The child had been getting up, going to school, they've been sleeping outside in the shed, outside.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I cannot
There's
believe some of the things what people do.
Yeah.
there's
She's
a
going,
comment. Oh, there's
mm,
a comment in here that said, I would not, from Kate Love, I would not try to be angry or aggressive in front of others if possible in regards to my child. Talk privately first.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, no.
mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it don't.
it depends on
Sometimes,
the
sometimes,
situation.
sometimes that work. It all depends on the situation as well.
Yeah,
It all because
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if you put your hands on my child, if you
Oh, there's
disrespect
going to be a
my
problem.
child, or if I see you do something wrong, with my child, how my mother used to say, where you, where you act up, we all acting up. Okay, whether it's in church, at the grocery store, or wherever, we all acting up. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, we'll talk tomorrow," or
Oh, no.
I'll because like okay, like in that situation with the coach, many of the parents, including me, had asked the coach so many times, "Can we have meetings?" We all had meetings. We had meetings with the principal. We had the kids had meetings. The parents had meetings. Nothing was getting done. And the one
Yeah.
time when I had asked the coach after a game, I said, I walked up to him, normal tone. It was after a game. I said, Coach, when could I started to ask him, when could I, meet with you?
Hmm.
When could we talk?
Yeah.
I don't have time for this right now.
Oh, hell
I
no.
ain't dealing with this right. He just went off. He
Oh,
went
no,
off.
Miss
And,
Tanya.
and, and I
No, no,
wasn't
no.
surprised though. I wasn't surprised though because a lot of the parents had already told me how he treated them, other grown-ups.
Oh,
Have told me how he treated their kids and them. So when I would hear about it from them, I'm like, nah, he ain't talk to y'all like that. Y'all, come on, y'all dragging it. Y'all dragging it.
yeah.
No,
Hmm.
see, you can only go so far with me. I'm sorry.
Oh,
If
no, Miss
you're gonna
Tanya.
sit there and embarrass me in front
Mm-mm.
of everybody and yell and scream at me in front of everybody, nowhere. I'm not going behind closed doors to talk to you.
No, no, no. Miss Tanya, I remember one time
No.
he tried it on with my mum. Do you know what my mum just turned around and said to them? She went, "Do you want to see your ancestors tonight?" Straight away. And everybody just backed the hell up. Do you know what I mean? Because my mum weren't playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean? Did they want to see the ancestors? And my mum went, they know what I mean. Because she doesn't play. Do you know what I'm saying? So as I've got older, when I was like say 13, 14, 15, I used to say that to people as well. I said, "Do you want to see your ancestors?" And like everyone's like kind of stand back and whatever. And I said, "No, I'm not playing." Do you know what I mean? Because your parents learn you how to be strong as well, but also how to reserve yourself too. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't see me going ham at people. But if someone tests me and winds me up, then I don't mess
Then
about
it's
and I
how
put
she
my foot
wrote.
down.
Right.
And that's
How
why
she
because
wrote.
they always
And
say the quiet ones are the weak ones. No, the quiet ones is because we're studying you. We're trying to understand you. We're wanting to see how you tick. And I watch and see how people treat other people. Do you know what I mean? And then that's how I know when people are two-faced. And I don't play them games.
that's why I say that all depends on the situation. It all depends because there are some moments where you can be like, "Can I talk to you in private?" and something like that. But
Hmm.
if there's a situation going on and it's riled up and things is out of control and somebody is doing something wrong to you, no, you have to confront that situation head on at that.
Yeah, there and then.
And that's what I did. Nobody else would do it, but that's what I did. And a few months later, he was
Hmm.
terminated because we had tried and tried to come to a resolution with that coach, and it didn't work. It didn't work. And he had came into a school where a lot of the kids had been there for years. And so they weren't used to him being disrespectful and cussing them out and call.
Hmm.
Okay, now one thing about it, Glazies, when you have children, if they
Uh-huh.
happen to play sports, one thing about it, you're gonna have to get used to coaches screaming at the children. That's one thing you have to get
Oh
used.
no. Oh
But
no, Miss Tanya.
it's
The
to a
coaches will
certain
have to get used to me
it's to a
saying to them,
it's gonna happen, honey. I'm sorry. They gonna be like,
do you
"What
know
are you doing? Run the ball back." That's what I mean when I say screaming. but
Oh, okay. That's to me. That's normal wear and
yeah,
tear.
but I'm
But
talking about like
mm-mm.
there's a point of screaming, and there's a point of like this coach was calling the kids bees.
Oh hell no.
Whoa! Are
No, no,
you
no.
kidding me?
No,
Y'all
Miss
Mm-mm.
Tanya.
acting like bees, and y'all. I mean, the kids would come home and tell their parents, including my kids. The coach called somebody this today. The coach said this. The coach said this. I mean, it was a problem. It was a problem. So he
Oh,
thought he
Miss
could
Yeah.
disrespect the
Tanya.
kids
Oh
and
hell
disrespect the
no.
parents. And oh no, no, I'm not the biggest, baddest person in the world. But if you disrespecting it, I'm not taking it lightly.
Oh no, Miss Tanya. The
And
same
all
way
I
how you
wanted to
calling
do
my
was
child the
talk to
B
him.
word, I'll be saying in your face the
I'm
B
like, you
word.
calling my
Point
son a
blank period. I'm not gonna be ratchet.
bitch?
I'm not gonna be ratchet. There's a way of speaking to people in a lower tone and still getting your point across. I will not be
Exactly.
getting all ready with my fist to knock them out and whatever. But I'll say we need to have a little conversation. And if they're going, I ain't got time for this, I go, you have got time for this. I says because you don't want me to pull up. Point blank period. I'm not messing about. If you allow people to disrespect your children, then I'm going to disrespect you, but I'm going to do it in a classy way, and you're going to know about yourself. Point blank period. We do not get teachers speaking to children like that over here in the UK. It's inappropriate, and it does never happen. And the occasions when it has happened, that teacher has been disciplined. Maybe in America they're allowed to conduct themselves like that, but over here it would never happen.
A lot of
That's
stuff
what I'm
goes
glad
down in
about.
America.
Yeah,
A
that's
lot of stuff goes down on here that shouldn't happen in America, and it's because usually nobody speaks up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's like real talk. Usually nobody speaks up about it. But like I said, my kids were playing sports from the time of like
Oh,
4 or 5 years old. So I was used to hearing, run the ball back. What you doing? Defense. I'm used to that. That's normal.
yeah,
But
yeah.
cussing and the really vulgar stuff and
No,
calling the kids and treating them, making the kids feel worthless and stuff
yeah.
like that, that's the problem we had with this particular coach. And I was so glad when he got terminated. I was so glad when he got terminated. But
Well, Kate Lovers wrote in the chat that she was a mama bear too,
mhm,
plus an educator for 40 years. So maybe Katie can give us a bit more of an insight of how she's found
mhm.
educators, how they've treated children. Has she found that
Yeah, Kate
they've
Love,
been
could you give us some insight on just because you're an educator, can you just give us some insight on what we just talked about? If you can put it in the chat, please.
Oh, or I can give her the phone line and she can call in if she wants.
Kate Love, would you
yeah.
want to call into the phone line if Tanya
Yeah, it'd
opens
be
up the
nice to
phone
hear
line?
from an
Let
actual
me just find my
educator how it
phone
is in the
first.
schools. That would be nice to hear, whether she wants to phone in or just
Ooh, hold
put it in
on,
the
I'm gonna
chat.
drop
It would be
my
nice.
computer.
hmm
I gotta
You've
find my
always
phone
treated
first.
children with respect and love. Yeah, a lot of children don't get love at home, and some
Right.
children like welcome that love from a teacher and from a teacher in school. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And not in a disgusting way. Please don't misunderstand, but in a family way. Do you know what I mean? To be nurtured. And that's why
Right.
a lot of children they would love to go to school because they'll be meeting their favorite teacher. Do you know what I mean? And that means a lot to people.
She
Mm-hmm.
said, "Really? I guess so."
Oh,
Yeah.
she said yes.
I don't know
She
if
wants she
Kate
wants to
Beach
call
gonna
in for
call
her.
in. It would be nice to hear her like speak. It would be nice.
Okay, if she wants to call in, I'll hold on.
I had a teacher hit my. This is from Roxanne. I had a teacher hit my. Oh Lord, no, I can't read it. I'm gonna get mad. Miss Tanya, you're gonna have to read it. You're gonna have to read it, Miss Tanya.
Don't mess with the kids. Don't mess with.
Kate Love said yes. She
Oh
wants to call
great,
in.
that'd
I
be
gotta
great for her
find
to
my
call
phone.
in. Oh Lord. So I had a teacher hit my child. I tried to talk to the counsellor. She brushed me off. Oh my goodness. Turned her back on
I'll
me.
be back.
So I took an attorney to the school, demanded bother their jobs. Is it bother or both their jobs? Point blank period. Hi Carter Z. Wow.
Okay.
Bother their jobs. Demanded bother their jobs.
Okay, let me turn on the conference line.
It'd be great to have an insight. I'm looking
Yeah, it
forward
was.
to hearing what. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear what Kate has to say.
Me
Both
too.
their jobs. Yeah, both of their jobs. Told you. Yeah.
Okay,
That's awful.
1 second, Kate. I'm calling into the conference line. Let me put the phone number in the chat. Let me put the phone number in the chat. Oh shoot, I got my
Yeah.
Where is the okay. All right, let's see. Okay, here's the chat. Okay, I'm gonna put the phone number in the chat so you can call Kate. Let's see. What? Come on, mouse. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I found it. I can't never remember the call-in number by heart. Sorry, you guys, but I got it now.
It's okay.
Okay, it's 605-475-4075. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Six 475-4075. And the access code is 7.
Sorry, y'all. There's a dog outside. Yeah, it's a loud ass dog. I'm sorry.
Mark, it wouldn't be a chat if it wasn't for you and all the noise that you always bring.
Okay, I got the phone lines open, Kate.
I'm looking forward to Kate ringing in. I'd like to hear her version of how children are in school.
You can call in now, Kate. Six 475-4075. Access 753-359.
She says she's trying to call.
Okay. Mark, throw that little puppy some hot dogs or something.
Right.
And I'll throw some TVs in the room too. Ta-da!
Thanks for throwing up the TVs, Lazy.
No worries. Today's kids are a lot more disrespectful. They know their rights. That is so true, Roxanne. Depending on where you come from, what country and whatever, they can all call police on the parent nowadays.
Yeah.
And you see, and that's where it's gone wrong when they've started allowing the police to bring up their children.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
A lot of times they call the police and they know their parent isn't abusing them. They just want to punish their parents and scare them from doing stuff like grounding them or taking away things that they know they like their cell phones or their video games. And they'll call the police and say, "Oh, my mama hit me."
But look how many times that has happened and they've actually come and killed the child instead.
Oh, I think she's here.
Oh,
okay,
great.
hold on. I think she's on the line. Let me turn the volume up. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, is this Kate?
This is Kate.
Hey.
Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Kate.
Yes, I can hear you. Just make sure you have our the video turned down in the background.
Right. Exactly. I
Okay.
just happened to, I don't know, you came on my feed.
Oh, really?
And I like talking about.
Oh.
So conversation. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. And how are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
That's
I'm not
awesome.
sure of your name, but I am going to subscribe to you.
Thank you.
And,
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Pass the word. But anyway.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I am Tanya Primetime, and it's nice to meet you. Well, basically, we wanted to know. I think Glacies had mentioned something about your experience with maybe parents and students. You know, in your time that you were an educator.
Right.
As far as like, because what we were talking about was like how parents might sometimes bump heads with a teacher, or like in my situation, that guy was just doing too much. But you know, they're all not that bad, you know.
Yes, I understand. Well, I'm a parent. Well, I only have one child. Well, he's 30 years old now, but I was on both sides of the spectrum, and he was an athlete. So I understand what you were saying, and believe me, I have had to become a mama bear many times. But I was also on the other side of the spectrum where I had parents that, and I know, and I've always treated children in that I want your child to be treated like I would want my child to be treated. And I would always give the benefit of the doubt. And I know they were very emotional. But I've had some parents to be very, very rude, very ugly, cursing, saying all kinds of things in front of the child. And I just thought that my thought was that even with my child, and he was not always right because he was strong-willed, I would always make sure I was outside of the rim before I, interacted with something I saw that I didn't like, because I know they feed on that. So I understand where you're from, unless it was an emergency or something that was just totally outlandish. I would never let my child see me interact with my teacher in a negative way. So, that's my personal opinion.
But I get it. I understand.
You're high and then you're heated, and that at the moment you're in that moment and you're emotional.
Yeah.
But I always want to teach my children, because I taught elementary all the way. I taught I was a peace pathologist, so I taught 3-year-olds all the way up to 20-something years old.
Oh, wow.
I always wanted them to know that you do not allow your emotions to overtake what you're trying to convey to others.
Right.
Because it can be either negative. But our emotions take over. But I agree.
I agree.
I've been on both sides.
I agree. And it's like sometimes you just can't. Jesus. Sometimes I have to pray. I have to anoint myself with fake holy water. I mean, I'm like, and then it's times where
you have to do Jesus.
Do Jesus. Do Jesus. Because there has been times where I kept it in, and I'm like, okay, breathe, woosah, woosah, and then there's times when I'm like, I can't hold it in. I can't hold it in. But
you know what? I hope you don't mind me talking. I'm just.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I've always had to, even with those kinds of parents who were in the heated moment, unless they were like physically aggressive or in my face or whatever, because I know they were being passionate about their child, and they didn't know how to quite convey their thoughts. I mean, you love your children. I love mine. And we're like mama and papa bears. We want to fight for them. We're their only advocates.
Right.
But I can usually, now, it depends on the teacher too, because she can de-escalate that whole case scenario, and just say, look, I understand. When you tell a parent, look, I understand where you're coming from. I have a child too. Let's talk about it. And I'm not here to hurt your child. I would never do anything to hurt your child. I want your child to be educated, and I want him to be the best he can be. I mean, you talking. So I'm good at talking. I was good at talking parents down. So,
and that's a great approach. That is a great approach. You don't hear that too often, though, from teachers. But I know there are a whole bunch of great educators out there, and then we have those out there who kind of like, I work also in the nursing home field,
Yeah.
and we have sometimes I'm just gonna put it out there, people who just apply for a job because it pays well. And
Exactly.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And we have that in every aspect, whether it's education,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So but that approach right there, if I would have
Yeah. It's
received
not
that,
easy. Let me tell you, it's not easy, but I think if we could teach more, because you know what, we are just no longer teachers anymore.
mm-hmm,
We are pastors. We're counselors.
mm-hmm,
We're the nurse. We're the parent. We're
mm-hmm.
the father. We're the mother. We're everything that
Mm-hmm.
you can name within that
Yeah.
type of environment.
Yeah.
If we can't make them feel good or comfortable there, what can we do? Because we have them most of the day.
Right. And that's why I have a
You
lot
know
of
what I mean?
respect for teachers, because you guys
Yeah.
do have our children most of the day. You teach them more than what
Oh,
we can
yeah.
teach them.
Yes, and I would
Yeah.
even get upset with other teachers that when I saw they were ugly to children. I mean, you know, look, I'm from old school.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you, I'm 63 years old, and I taught for 40 years. But I'm from old school too.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you the mama look. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
how to give a mama look?
Yes.
Oh yes, yes, and definitely.
I mean, in the other panel, I'm not sure. I don't know their names. I mean, have you ever been given the mama look?
I got the daddy look, and sometimes the mother look.
And when you
Sometimes.
give them that look, man, they know when you mean business.
Yeah.
And they know when, I mean, you don't have to be just good. Or, you know, I can put my
Well,
hand.
no, I got the daddy look. My mother never did that with me, but I got it mainly from my dad.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, my dad was military, so I know too.
Ooh.
So
Oh yeah, so you already know what time it is. So
it was an interesting discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be good if the school system would teach teachers how to interact with parents, no
Right.
matter where they come from, no matter what the economic situation
Mm-hmm.
or how much education they have, because some parents just don't know
Yeah.
how to respond. All they know is fight because they've been fighting all their lives. You know? And
yeah, right. Oh, and can I just comment, Kate, on exactly what you just said? You made a good, valid point. There was is someone who I came across a couple of weeks ago. And Glazy, you know who I'm talking about, but we're not gonna name that person's name. So it was a couple of weeks ago. Um, there's somebody who we know from YouTube. She, um, she went off on somebody, and I had reached out to her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
On behind the scenes, and I had a conversation with her, and I could kind of relate to where she was coming from, because I went through the same thing. Like, I grew up in between Wisconsin and Chicago. Okay, so I grew up in I spent some time in a really rough area of Chicago as a kid growing up, and like everything around me, it really kind of taught me I had to fight to survive kind of mentality.
right.
And so, I know if you heard stories about certain places in Chicago, I'm assuming, so I'm not going to get into that. But like just that environment that I had to deal with for a little bit when I had to move to Chicago for a little bit is I had to really had to fight to survive, pretty much mentality, like exactly what you just said. And so like once I moved back to Wisconsin, I knew what I had to do, to get out of that mentality. Even here, like in Wisconsin, I lived in a very bad area and sector of the city that I live in. But once I got older, like I had to um, say to myself, okay, I can fight for things, but there's a different way that I can go about fighting for things, but still fight for the same causes and for the same things, but go about it in a different way, and not be so aggressive and vicious and things like that, but stand your ground, but go about it in a different way. So this YouTuber that we know, we know, I kind of had to talk to her on the side because she went off on another YouTuber over like a disagreement or an argument or whatever it was, and I kind of pulled that person to the side. I'm like, hey, there's another way you can go about this, but to get your point across.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So I totally understand, Kate, where you're coming from when people say, okay, I got to fight for this and that, and they got to be aggressive about it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Go
getting
go ahead,
that.
Kate. Go ahead, Kate.
No, I'm just saying, I love your content. And I think that if we would expose not only teachers but parents to this kind of a dialogue and how to interact and whatever, I think it would be so much better because we have so many people out there who are hurting, and those children bring that to the classroom. They bring that to that setting. They come there already angry. Parents are trying to go to work. Parents are trying to feed them. And it's just a world that we need to show more kindness and show what it means for somebody to care.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to say.
And I absolutely agree with you. And I'm so glad you called in. As soon as I saw your comment, I was like, yeah, you right. But sometimes they bring the sister girl out of me from the hood.
And they bring the west side of Chicago boy out of me once in a good while. It don't sound like it, but trust me, if you piss me off good enough, all that Madison and Pulaski boy will come out real quick, real fast.
I understood what you were saying, and yes, I've had to be a mama bear because let me tell you, there are some mean coaches. My son was a basketball player, 6'6", and I saw some real ugly things that would go on with kids and beating them down. It's a different thing to make them strong and make them resilient and make them, defend themselves. But there's another thing when you're just mean and cruel.
Yeah, that's mean.
Right.
I don't see that an educator to any child or as a parent.
Yeah,
so that was my say.
Well, thank you. I thank you so much for your replying and responding to our commentary with your commentary. I do appreciate that, and I'm glad you came across our channel. Please make sure you there's a lot of good people, good commentators on our chat. So please make sure you check everybody out. And do you create content as well?
Oh, no, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, I was going to say, I'll check you out too.
And I watch.
Okay, I was going to say I'll check out your channel too because I like to support those who support my channel. So that's how we do.
You all keep up the good work and bring.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you so much.
And the discussion so we can think. And I really like.
Yes.
Kind of content to make us think and be
Thank you, Miss Kate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Miss Kate. I appreciate it. And make sure you hit the bell so that you make sure you get our notification.
I've already done that.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Kate.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
She's really nice. I really like.
Yeah,
you got some
really
nice
sweet.
people on your channel. Oh yeah, I like that.
Really sweet. I love those kind of educators, the kind that really try to get through to the children and not just try to teach the children, but like she said, they have our kids the majority of the day, and that's why I hate some people can be really mean to teachers. Like really mean to teachers and act like they kids don't do no wrong,
Oh yeah, and like Miss Kate said earlier, it comes from it comes from that environment, and that's why I commented on what I just commented on because it wasn't really from my mother, but like I said, when I had to live in Chicago when I was growing up in Chicago, like it didn't really come from my mother. It really came from like mainly from my dad's peoples and stuff, like being in that environment. Because remember, my mom's family is in Europe, okay, and we didn't have a lot of money growing up like that, and so it's just that environment that I grew up around. That you're really taught that you have to fight for things, and it's like it shouldn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
That's
Because
right.
of that environment, because if you have to be able to live in that environment to understand the severity of it. Like, you got people who is shooting all day and night. You gotta, excuse me, I ain't being racist. Well, I'm about to say I'm not being racist, but you got a whole bunch of niggas doing the most. Okay, I'm not even trying to. I'm trying to. Yeah, they're doing the most.
I get it.
They're doing over there and over and over there in those parts of Chicago. In Chicago,
Yeah, I
they're
get it.
doing the most. You know, they you know, and just you seeing dead bodies and damn alleys and stuff. It's like all that stuff.
Yeah,
That environment in general, it's like you got to fight to make sure you can live.
yeah.
And
That's
that's
very
the mentality that when people leave from those situations, like myself, I was still stuck in that hood mentality
yeah,
that I have to fight for things to get the things that I wanted.
yeah,
You know, in life, like I got to go about cursing people out to get to the top, and it's like, no, there's another way that you can
Yeah.
approach that.
I think for a lot of people, they've probably been through that stage where they've been like, I'd call it ratchet, where they've been ratchet, and then they're able to come out on the other side and know how to calm down and how to have conflict resolution in a
yeah,
mature, decent, respectful way. So I
yeah,
mean, and like I said, it's a part of your environment. It's like if you move out, then you're like the people that are around you. When you move in, you are like the people around you. And
yeah,
it is environmental. I do
yeah.
100% agree with that, do you know?
And I
Yeah, Roxanne
believe
is.
that
Yeah, it's like playing chess. Roxanne, you absolutely are correct.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne. And I firmly believe that okay, a lot of us, a lot of people watching me, a lot of people who's on the panel, a lot of us have grew up in the hood and we grew up
Mm-hmm.
with what Mark was talking about, whatever city we lived in.
Yeah.
And when you grow up and when you become an adult and you have children or not have children yet, you still have to sometimes well, you have to learn from the time you grow your child till you grow up. Hopefully you learn, okay, I might have acted like this a lot when I was younger. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people around me might have acted like this to resolve, conflict,
Yeah.
but you
Right.
learn that it doesn't always take fighting and all that kind of stuff to resolve, a situation. But
So true.
but what one thing that hood also teaches me from growing up in the hood is not to let people mistreat me or abuse me.
Oh, absolutely. That exactly with
Yeah.
me.
Because I'm
Exactly with me.
so
Like growing, yeah, like for me, growing up in the hood in Chicago, it made me, realize, I ain't gonna let nobody just walk all over me,
mhm.
because
No.
sometimes that Madison and Pulaski boy is gotta come out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
one,
You're right.
it's gotta come out, but I go about it in a different way.
Yep.
I
Correct.
still I still use some of my street ways, but I go about it in a different way now.
Right.
Correct.
Because
Cause I can check a hoe real quick.
Oh.
Trust, baby. If you
Lord.
make me upset enough, I can check you, but I know how to go about it in another way.
Right. And
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to do. You let them know, like, shit, look, I'm from the hood, bitch. You ain't finna be talking me crazy.
Lord.
Now
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna put my hands on you now, but I'm gonna check your ass.
Okay. All right. Let's watch the curse words now.
We can say ASS. I didn't say MF. We can say
Okay.
ASS. Ass is not a bad word. Girl,
Right.
stop.
But
But
again,
the point here is this: is
remember,
that,
YouTube
but
is coming down on curse words. So remember that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
yes,
Remember
but
that.
it's not. We can use it.
Uh-uh.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it actually is when it comes to being monetized. It actually
Yes.
Mm.
makes a difference.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Um,
on! Just for using
No,
the
it's
no,
really
ASS
true. Do you know what I
word.
mean?
just saying for real, Mark. Once you become
Okay.
you'll
Yeah.
realize it when you realize
Oh, they got us filtered, child.
when you realize which one of your
No.
videos are being monetized and which ones are not.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
That is so true.
the ones who YouTube don't think are good for all advertisement, they will not let you monetize.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you use but back to what we were talking about.
But yeah, the ASS word
But
is cool, but when you say B and all that other stuff,
okay,
okay.
yeah, but back to what we were talking about because we're getting off the
Mark.
topic. Sorry, because we were deferring from the conversation, but the whole
I know,
point,
but Miss Tanya was trying to make her point across, and it's like, to me, it come across
and
like you cut. You may not have seemed like you did, but it did. And Miss Tanya is our elder, so we should
thank you,
have that
Miss K.
respect.
Okay, so we're gonna get back to the conversation and topic,
Lord
okay?
have mercy.
But I did like what Kay said about it is survival of the toughest. Sometimes she's right
It
about that.
is.
Yes, it is about the toughest survival, but it's like, again, okay, I won't use any curse words, okay?
Thank
What
you.
I'm about to say. Now, there's a way, like if you have to check their butts. Can I use the word butt?
Yes, Mark. Yes.
Okay. So sometimes, if you have to check their butts, you can check them, but you
Mm-hmm.
can go about it in a different way. But let them know, like I ain't that person to be messing with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, but not be like, oh, I'm gonna beat their ass, beat their butt,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna drag them and all that. No,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can still go about it in another way that you can get your point across and let them know I'm not the one to play with, because there was a situation that happened to me maybe a month ago. This was before I even met you, Glazies.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a situation that happened, and actually has something to do with my exercise group. Actually, yeah. So one of the girls or whatever, shoot, I'm gonna put her name out there. She ain't gonna watch this anyway. Her name is.
Lord have
Her
mercy.
name is Tonya. Yeah, Tonya, I'm putting you out there, broad.
Oh, thank God it ain't Tanya. Is it Tonya? Is it?
Tonya.
Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
I'm putting her out there. She doesn't know I do YouTube, but anyway. So there's this broad named Tonya, right? And so she's one of them types. And Glazy, you and I have had this conversation. You know whom?
Mm-hmm.
Not Elise, but the black one I just told you about. But anyway, it was so she was trying to like, cause she does the most, okay? And so she was like trying to like be too pushy towards me and kind of like just pushy a little bit, And I had to pull her to this because this is a black woman who thinks she's a white woman, okay?
Oh Lord.
Lord.
If you get my drift. So I kind of had to pull her to the side. I'm like, look, I don't appreciate you, being bossy towards me. Or pushy towards me. I would appreciate it if you could just be a little bit more respectable, okay? And then she called an attitude with me, and I'm like, you know what? I said I tried to be very nice with you. I said, look, you're getting on my my such and such words, the F word, okay?
Oh Lord.
Nerves. I said you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I said I try to be nice to you. I said this is the only way for me to get my message across to you. Because I said to you very nicely to stop being pushy towards me. I don't appreciate it. She kept doing it, and I had to. The Madison and Pulaski boy had to come out, and I had to use a little few choice words. I
Mm.
tried.
Well, you know what? One thing
You
about it,
know,
when you raised in the hood or around that hood mentality from a lot of people just in your surroundings, one thing you definitely know how to do is go from corporate back to street real.
very, very quickly if
And
I got to, if
that's
need be, because
that I done been so corporate, so cordial, so professional, so
Yeah.
but that's work. You have to know
Mm-hmm.
when and when not to bring it back, when to reel it in, when to let
It's
it loose.
true.
Because sometimes, like I say, some people talk about the hood and judge people from the hood and all that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, when it comes to certain situations, when you ain't from the hood, you certainly would appreciate somebody.
You certainly would appreciate it.
Being at
Exactly.
your side at any given moment when something gets out of pocket.
Right, exactly. You know, right.
In a place of work, sorry for cutting you. In a place of work, you've got to know how to conduct yourself.
Yeah, in the place of work,
And the
right.
thing
In the
is,
place of work, right.
There's a skill how to, let's say, ruffle people's feathers when there's some come on your territory. Now, in work, you don't know what colour I am because I'm very posh, I'm very nice, I'm very decent. But you see, the minute you mess with me, that's when I go silent. And when I go silent in work and there's no smile on my face, people know there's a problem and they know we're going to have words later. Now, the thing is, back in the day, I would be knocking people out, kicking them over, doing all sorts. But I learned it don't get you anywhere and it don't get you no job.
Right,
so
exactly.
When you go into a workplace, you conduct yourself in a certain way, which you wouldn't normally do when you're at home. And you see, when people mess with me in work, you see, when I catch them in the bathroom, I whisper under my breath. And I don't move my lips. I whisper under breath. I said, try that shit again. And there's going to be a problem. And they're frightened. From that, they don't do nothing to me. But you have to threaten them in a nice way. In that way, when they go running to the big boss going, oh, they threatened me. And they go, who, Evie? No, she's not like that. Little do they know. Because I will spark a person out if they walk on my territory and play with me and mess me about.
And you know, and Evie, I do that too. And actually, I did it with her. I told her, I said, look, I'm asking you very nicely. You need to stop. I said, because you know, you and I are gonna have a problem. If you keep being pushy towards me, I said, I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not one of these other white folks around here. I said, look, I'm from the hood. Do you understand me? I'm from the hood. I'm not one of these white folks around here. You're messing with the wrong one. I advise you be respectful to me when you're talking to me, and you don't be pushy. I said, because look, I'm from the hood. I'm from the west side of Chicago. Trust me, you don't want to make me go there with you. Okay.
Well, let's put it this way, Miss Tanya. Now, I'll make it perfectly clear. I don't really get annoyed at people in work. No, because they know not to mess with me. Right. But what I'm not going to put up with is them putting that flipping knife into my butter.
Oh, child.
That is a big thing. Because I'm telling you now, people end up getting poisoned. Because let me tell you something. I don't know what it is when you're at this workplace. You can't have no butter in the fridge and they don't keep the damn hands off it. You open up your butter, you've just bought it. And then all of a sudden, you see streak marks in your butter with no little crumbs from the bread in the butter. Girl.
What?
I had to send an email round. To the office saying, I don't know who's touched my butter, but please no, I've put my medicine in there, so you will need a doctor. All of a sudden, the person was revealed.
Oh, wow.
Don't put your hands on my food.
I hate that when people at work and they touch your food. And some people, oh God, have you ever been at a job where they would steal food?
Yes.
Like,
oh yes.
Oh Lord.
Oh my God. I worked at a place like that where somebody was always stealing the food, so they put security cameras in the break room.
No, really?
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
no food was ever stolen after that, though. But you shouldn't have to do that with grown people.
You shouldn't. Do you know, I've even known people to steal spoons from the kitchen at work. It's like, why are you stealing a spoon? You ain't got no knife and fork or cutlery at home.
I don't know.
Look up Roxanne Road. People would mess in people's coffee. Oh Lord.
Roxanne said people would poop. Oh, Roxanne, what? She said,
Oh my
"Oh my
Lord.
God, I can't believe what she just said."
Mm-hmm.
She said,
That's,
"People
do you
poop
know
in
what?
people's coffee." Oh,
Do you know the funny thing about it? This is the funny thing. You can go into work, you can leave your purse in your wallet and money all spilling out. No one will touch it. But go in that damn fridge, they're taking your food and touching your food.
even if you already ate from it, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Nasty.
you don't
Oh
know
my
what they
God.
got crawling around
Oh,
in their mouth. You
my
just
sister used to steal spoons, says Roxanne. Why do they take the spoons? I don't understand. What is it about the spoons? Like everybody, no matter where in the world, steals spoons from work. Why?
Roxanne said her sister used to steal spoons.
Yeah. So bizarre. I don't know what it is with spoons. People do, I don't know.
I don't
Those
know.
go missing.
I don't know either.
Remember at one workplace, we
Miss
ended up
Kate
putting
said
the
I'm
spoons on
tough.
chain. Like it was, I was like, why is the spoon on a chain? It's like a chain at the sink, so everybody has to use the one spoon to stir the cup. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they only touched my butter the one time. It never happened again. I say that for nothing. All the time when I was cooking some milk, I bought the milk and the flippers put their lips to my bottle of milk. Lord. So I ended up having to throw it all down the sink because I thought, I'm not drinking. Do you know what I mean? When people have already opened up my milk and that's not on, you know?
When people started eating people food and stealing, that's when I started buying those like cooler lunch bags that
Yeah.
kind of insulated.
Yeah, that's
I would
what I
keep
do.
my food in there, my pops or my
Yeah.
whatever. I would keep it in there.
Exactly. With my plastic knife and forks. And everyone used to think, where to go? Why eating off plastic knife and forks? I said, because I'm not putting my lips where your lips have been. Hello.
Sure. I have my hot sauce and everything in my purse.
But Miss Tanya, don't you notice when you go to the microwave and warm up your cooked food from home, they're all sniffing around saying, can I try some?
Yeah, or got their face
Yeah,
wrong.
Got their face up in there.
Yo, I hate when people say, can I see?
Yeah.
Like,
can I see it? Can I try it? Can I try it? And they come over with a fork, wanting to dig up in your food. Lord.
I hate that.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Oh,
so
the best
funny.
one. I was speaking to my client last night. The best one is I'll give you some money if you cook it for me. It's like, I was going to say swear word then. Go down to the shop. The shop's out there, but cook the same kind of food if you want to try. I thought, oh, no. Or the best one is when they try to come near to sniffy food. It's like, oh, no nose near my food. Back the up. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know why it is the mentality like that, because I'm not bothered about your cucumber sandwich. I don't want your cucumber sandwich. I'm not bothering you. You don't want to make my jerk chicken or my fried chicken or my curry goat. That's what they want.
Yeah, that's how black people over there eat, Tanya.
Oh wow.
That's what we're taking to work.
I just saw something really funny on Facebook. I have to read it to y'all.
Yes, please.
What?
Somebody said it's a little joke about kids since we on the subject of kids this evening. It said kids will call your name 45 times just to show you a jump 1 inch off the ground. Somebody said that's my child. Like, you know how kids will call you and call you and call you and call you and call you, and then you be like, what is it? What is it? And then it'll be something so minor, like you called me and screamed my name for me to come running, and this is all.
Roxanne, you're right. We gotta be careful who we break bread with.
Oh, Roxanne, yes, you are absolutely right. Excuse me, you are absolutely right. And you know what, you guys? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. I just wanna dang, I can't show it on here. Oh well, I can't show it on here. I forgot I'm not on OBS. Never mind. Well, anyway, for the people who were live with me this morning, Glazy, you was on the live this morning, right?
I was, yes.
When you were baking the cake, I was at somebody's house.
I was gonna ask you about that cake, Miss Tanya, because I had a couple of questions about that cake, and I wasn't being ratchet. I didn't want to bring it up in case people made the cake. No, because sometimes it can come across like I'm being ratchet, but I just had to know, because I'm like to myself, like, Man, I need to ask Miss Tanya a couple of questions about that blooming cake
Oh,
and the people in the situation. But I'm just hoping they're not looking at the live. I want them to, but I don't want them thinking I'm being rude, because the cake was absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. You put in all the effort, and I just have to clarify a couple of things. Yeah, just to check. Number one, can you confirm or not? Did you not say that the people said to you to get the cake and that the party started at 3 o'clock, but they said that they'll come and collect it at 3:15?
Oh yes, I forgot. We talked about this earlier.
Exactly, because I just need to just say something, because I can't hold
I'm
back.
not trying
I
to be
have to.
patient.
I have to say something, and I'm trying not to be
Oh,
reactive.
child.
I'm trying
I
not to be reactive,
forgot.
so I'm going to say it very delicately. Now, please, Miss Tanya, can you
but
confirm?
you
Did
know
the
what?
people say the party's at 3 and you're to make sure the cake's
But
ready
you
for
know what?
3:15? I'm breaking it
I'm
down.
gonna be perfectly honest, Glazies.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's really it's a pet peeve with me. It's a pet peeve with me because I have had people like say they need a birthday cake or an order or whatever they ordered from me, and
Yes.
say I need it at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're calling me at like 11:30 saying, "Oh, I don't need it till 4." Or I won't have it
No.
until I get off of work. I had somebody literally tell me one day they need
Mm-hmm.
an order at like 11 or noon. And then they hit me up and said they don't get off until 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
But see, what I have come to learn from being a personal cake decorator for some time now is
Yeah.
people will order something and tell you they need it 50 hours ahead of time because they want to make sure that you have it done and complete.
Yeah.
And then they will not come get the cake or cupcakes or whatever it is
Yes.
I made for them until hours later. And see, that messes with somebody when you're in a profession like that, any
Yes.
kind of food profession or any profession really, no matter what you make, when it's things that you make. Because I have a schedule. When people say they need something, I put them on my calendar. Once I get so many on a certain day, I'm like, nope, can't take any more. So if somebody tells me they need something at a certain time, and then they really needed it 4 hours later, I could have done somebody else's stuff, at that time, and I could have pushed it out till later. Like, say somebody else needed something early that morning, and I say, well, I'm already booked. They'll go to somebody else. You know what I mean? So I mean, in this situation, it was like, okay, they said they needed it at 3, and then they said they're not going to come pick it up till like they said the party was at 3, and they needed it at 3:15.
Correct.
So that was just a few minutes off. But yeah, I didn't have people. I'm telling you, they will. I had people order cake and say they need it in the morning and not come pick it up to 8, 9 at night.
Right. Now, Miss Tanya,
waiting, and I'm like, can somebody else come pick it up? Can I drop it off somewhere?
Well, Miss Tanya, I was going to ask you that because I thought I heard you say the people will be coming to collect it at 3:15. Did I hear wrong or did I hear correct?
No, that's what they said, and I offered to deliver it.
So why?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I was just about to ask you that about the delivery, because I thought whilst that time you were live that they contacted you and said, can you deliver the cake instead? Now, my thing is this.
Oh, no, they didn't ask me to deliver it. I offered to deliver it because I knew which part of town they were in. And literally, when they picked it up, I was going to head right out the door and basically go that way, go right in that neighborhood, in that area. So I was like, well, I can just come bring it to you if you want,
Yeah.
But
okay, that's fine. That's cleared that all up, because my head went all over the place when you put down that phone call. And I thought, hold up a minute. How blooming cheeky are these people to turn around and change their mind and ask you to deliver it? And then on top of that, in my mind, I was saying, like, I wonder if they paid you for the delivery as well. But obviously, I ran with that narration because I misunderstood. And that's why I said, instead of me running with it, I wanted to clarify exactly what happened. So I'm very glad that you did. And I'm glad that you were very honest and said that you offered to drop off the cake, because I was like, you better get your traveling money and all sorts. I was going crazy, let me tell you.
No problem, but I'm glad you asked that, because I've been wanting to put that out there. I've been wanting to put that on my Facebook and everything. Like, if you ordering something from somebody,
Yeah.
Don't order it hours and hours and hours in advance just because you want to make sure it's done. If you don't need it to hours and hours later, it's kind of unfair to the person who's doing the service because they really might have a strict schedule that they go by. So I was going to put that on my Facebook, but in this particular case, this case, she was just, it was a few minutes off. So this is nothing. She was fine. She was fine. I done so many orders for this person today. She was fine. But I had people who, and then as far as delivery, I don't deliver unless it's like tiered cakes, tiered cakes that have to be put together.
Yeah.
I don't, can't nobody pick it. I didn't have people, I can put it together. Just tell me how. Nope. Because for one, anything that comes out from my hands to your hands, I have to make sure it's perfect, like perfect. So if it's a tier cake, and I know tier cakes have to be packaged separately. Each tier have to be packaged separately, and then you have to put it together and put the rods in it and all that kind of stuff. And I have to do that because I want to make sure it's sitting perfectly, it's evenly leveled, and everything at the event. No, because ain't nobody going to take no picture and put that on Facebook or anywhere and say Tanya made this and it's lopsided or they got it. No,
people are messy.
No,
well,
and
Tanya?
So yeah,
like there was something that I said to you today, and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking to myself, like, it would be nice. I don't know if you could take it on or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to put it across to you anyway. Do you remember when I was saying about how I make cakes in jars?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I think that would be so wonderful if you did something like that and you put it on Amazon. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be so well, especially like when the Christmas time comes up. And that is such an excellent thing because it's so unique to have cakes in a jar. So it's individually packed. It's got like the bow on it or however the pattern would be. I think your business will do really, really well with that. And I know I'm being rude and saying it, but I'm just saying
you're not
from
being
the
rude.
heart.
I didn't see that before. I didn't see that before. People putting cakes and layering it with the frosting and the cake and all that kind of stuff. I didn't seen that before in jars. I just haven't, worked myself up to doing anything like that. But no,
that would be wonderful because I know some people that do them kind of things and they end up shipping them worldwide. Do you know what I mean? Because they have like people who work in the army and the military and whatever, and they ship them off as good Christmas gifts and stuff like that. I think you would do wonderful with that because that cake what I seen today was absolutely stunning.
Thank you. And
as soon as I seen it, I just because as soon as I saw it, I just thought of that almond cake, and I was thinking if that almond cake was in a jar with some pears, oh my Lord, with the frosting,
girl. And you know what?
You have to do it.
The funny thing is, I mentioned it on the live this morning. I mentioned it before. People that know me personally, they know I don't even eat cakes. Like people be like, "How'd you get into this business? Eat with cakes and all that kind of stuff."
All right, take care, Roxanne.
Thanks, Roxanne.
Roxanne, you're leaving. Okay, thank you so much for joining us. And Nita's Kitchen. Hey, what's up, Nita? How you doing? Thanks for joining the live. Make sure you guys thumbs up the video. We've been, and by the way, those who coming in, we done been on every topic tonight. Now we're talking about cakes. But anywho, I got started from my mom because before she passed, she used to make cakes for everybody, for holidays, for the nephews, the grandkids, my kids, she made the cakes homemade. So once she passed, we tried out a few store cakes. We didn't like them. So I was like, you know what, kids? I think I'm going to try to make a cake. And they looked at me and they laughed and was like, ha, 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 ha. Because I never made a cake before my entire life. I'm a great cook. I can cook anything. Mexican, Chinese, Italian, Southern, I can cook. But when it came to cakes, that was mom. So I just started doing it and kept practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing because making a cake is the easy thing. Following a recipe is easy. People be like, well, how you make your chocolate cake? Honey, there's 1,000 recipes. There's a billion recipes online. Making the cake is easy. It's just follow directions. The decorating and designing the cake, that's a whole nother ball.
That's another level.
So it took me a long time. And so what I did was I started practicing And I started taking pictures of everything I've done. And if you go to my Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice Facebook page and start from the very bottom of the photos, you will see my very first cakes, which weren't all that, but I'm still proud of them.
Yeah.
Like Dre say, started from the bottom, now we here. I purposely put those cakes on there, which a lot of people wouldn't do. They would put like their beginning work on social media. And then as you can just keep going up and up and up and up the photos, you're like, dang.
Better and better and better. Yeah. I like that. It shows growth.
Yeah, and that's what I did. And some people like that because dang, they were like, dang, you can really see you practice and kept going and going. And now what you do now is, so
yeah. Because I remember like, one of the cakes what I made it in I don't know how you call it, an ice cream cone. I don't know if you know what an ice cream cone is. And I made it in an ice cream cone, and people thought it was like ice cream, and it's like, no, babes, it's cake. And they were so shocked. Do you know what I mean? Because if you do like little surprises and things like that, do you know what I mean? It makes it like unique and different.
Yeah.
And like I'm one person, I love to look on pictures and I eat with my eyes.
Me too.
And that's what I'm saying, because when you eat with your eyes, you know you're gonna like it. Like if it looks ugly, I can't go for it. Do you know what I mean? And I remember one time, it's on my Instagram, and I put like a dish out, and I asked everybody what they thought the food was, and they all said egg and chips. And I went, you think that's egg and chips? And they said, yeah. And I went, well, actually, it's not. It's fruit. They went, fruit? No, it's egg and chips. I went, no. I said, that's apple sliced up with some cinnamon sprayed over. I said, that's yogurt, and that's an apricot on the top. And that's why it looked like egg and chips, and it actually wasn't. So I'm very good at doing them trickery foods as well. Do you know what I mean? And I love doing them things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's unique and it drags people in, kind of thing. You get to figure out lots of stuff, you know.
And it's different and it's unique. Yeah. Now somebody said hi to you. Nita's Kitchen said hi to you, Glazy.
Oh, yeah, I said hi to her already up there.
Oh, okay.
She said hi
back to hi me. Talker. So I think she was talking to you when she said talker hi.
No,
she's talking to me. She's talking to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Miss
I feel like a dud. I feel like a
dud. But Tanya, I might have to snatch you up. No, I'm playing, Tanya.
That cake, oh my Lord. That's what I asked you in the chat, Miss Sally, because I was trying to figure out this yellow cake, because I've never heard of yellow cake before.
Yellow cake is the bomb.
Yes, yellow cake is the bomb.com, girl.
But what is the flavor of that cake? Because I was trying to figure it out in my mind, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought I'll ask you later. But when you make yellow cake, is it lemon or is it pineapple? What is yellow? What is the taste of a lemon?
It's not lemony. It's more of basically your vanilla flavor. It's more basically your vanilla flavor cake. But depending on which recipe you use, some people use like egg whites in their cake flavor. I mean, their cake batter.
Okay.
But I use more egg. I use more yellow egg.
Have you ever used duck eggs in your cooking of cakes?
What kind?
Have you ever used duck eggs?
No, I've never used duck eggs in anything.
Oh, Miss Tanya.
Am I missing something?
That's an English thing, I think.
You're missing out.
Let me know now.
I would suggest you get some duck eggs, make a small cake using duck eggs, and you have a taste tester, and you ask your family, which one do you think? And I'm telling you now, because the duck eggs are far more superior, and it gives a better taste to the cake.
Really?
Yeah. So I would suggest making 2 cakes, one with the chicken eggs and one with the duck eggs, and give out samples and ask people which one do you think is better, and then, I mean, based on what they say, then you can go forward.
Click the Add the Chrome button, then click Add Extension to continue.
What the hell?
What did go off then? Was that Alexa?
You're almost done.
I don't know what that is.
Hello?
Oh no, the microphone.
My bad. I don't know what that was. I had one of those screens open with Maleah.
Oh,
and you know how sometimes they have the advertisements on the side. I think I accidentally clicked on.
Okay, that's
I'm
no
like,
worries.
what? Well, you want me to do what? But yeah, duck eggs. And you know what? I heard of that before being used in recipes, but I never heard of it being done in like a specific recipe. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
just swap out the chicken egg and use duck egg instead, and you'll taste it's far more superior and it gives a better taste to the cake. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So I would do a sample. I would do a sample of both cakes, let people taste it, and let you know, and then you'll get a better gauge. But I'm heading you in the right direction for sure.
okay.
Yeah, and make sure, like, not being rude or anything. Like when you're making those duck egg cakes as well. Do you know with duck eggs, obviously you flip the cake upside down and you
Mm,
pour sugar syrup on the bottom, either a pineapple flavor one or a lemon flavor one, something like that, or an almond flavor one, and that will make the cake. Oh my goodness, because it drags through the flavor, so the cake stays longer. And that's one of the tricks of the trades what they use as well. Because I used to work in a cake shop, so that's one of the
okay.
tricks of the trade what they use by flavoring the underneath with sugar syrup, and it's absolutely delicious. And you
That
will
sounds
notice the difference. It will lift the cake.
So it's thebomb.com.
Yeah, so I'm not like telling you
good.
something off cuff. I'm telling you something what I've experienced from working in a cake shop before, and it is delicious.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
Mhm.
Mm, that sounds really, really good. That
Yeah.
does sound good. But yeah, maybe we'll have to go maybe we can go do a Google Hangout and do some cake decorating together.
That would be amazing.
Yes, because I don't know, for a while now I'll do at least once a month. Like I'll just
Mm.
do commentary on whatever we decide to talk about, and I'll be decorating the cake live. Now I normally do it on my other channel, my Tanya's Delights YouTube channel.
Mhm.
But as I said before, I've been kind of neglecting that channel because I was grinding it out trying to get this channel monetized before
Yeah.
my 1 year. And so now that that's done, I can start focusing on building my other channels up. But yeah,
Yeah.
that would be fun because I absolutely love cake decorating. I do.
Yeah.
I love it.
I told you what I wanted for mine next year.
Yeah, you said, well, first you said what did you say? A space
No,
scene?
I said I wanted a plain theme with the actual plane logo and the actual plane aircraft.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I found the picture and stuff and I just gotta like send it to you.
Yeah, you just gotta send it to me. That's what most people do. They just tell me what picture they want on their cake, and they'll just inbox it to me or text it to me, and I'll put it on my computer and go from there.
Mm.
But yeah, for those who watched me this morning decorate that cake, it is on I finally had time to put it on the thumbnail of that video, and I also
Yeah.
posted it on my Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice Facebook page. So you can check it out over there. That cake that I did, and when I dropped it off, the little boy came running to the truck. He was like, "The cake lady!"
Oh.
And he opened it up, and he was just beaming. He was like, "Oh my!" He was smiling ear to ear, like,
Oh.
"Oh my God, this is mine." I'm like, "Yes, that's yours." But
Wow.
yeah, he
That's
loved
so
it.
good.
I'm
Oh.
not
It's really nice
Tanya.
when people are happy with the food at the gate. You know what I mean?
Tanya.
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie, but that cake looked at a hot mess. No, I'm playing. Look,
Oh my
I'm playing.
god!
I'm playing, Tanya. I'm playing. No, that cake looked it good though. It looked. That's. You see how the picture was? I was
Oh.
playing, Tanya. I'm playing. You know I'm. You know I'm
I
playing.
know.
Okay. So you see the picture right that was on the cake, right? So there's a picture of an aircraft just like that, and I want to send that to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Because I don't know where they got that picture from. People just be sending me pictures. They be finding stuff and just be sending it to me, say, "I want this on my cake." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I know you have some bizarre stuff too, right?
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't had
no.
I didn't have boobs, all kind of stuff. People ask me, "Do you do exotic cakes?" I said, "I do whatever you want." Do you want it to be black, white,
Oh,
Mexican,
Lord.
Asian? You know, I'm good with dyeing colors. What color do you want it?
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, I get asked a lot of things, but you know, I'm about used to it now. I'm used to it.
Yeah, yeah. Dang, this is like weird. This is like us being at the club.
I know, like we started talking about Maleah, rest in peace, beautiful one, and ended up on cakes, and that's it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. That's one thing about a panel. One thing about a panel is sometimes you can veer off and enjoy talking about other subjects, and it's all cool. That's all cool. I had somebody tell me one time, y'all weren't like always on subject or on. I said, and we might not always be ever on.
Yeah.
I mean, and did you enjoy the conversation?
And why
Yeah.
are you still here if you think that we're not good, girl? Bye.
This was
I
a while
mean,
ago too. They were like,
Or boy, bye, or whoever it was.
and stay on topic. I'm like, well, that happens sometimes when you have
yeah.
more than
Almost
one
was.
person. You know, it's easy for me to stay on topic if I'm just doing the live and I'm all by myself. But when you have other people in there, I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna venture off sometimes off topic, but it's all good.
And you know what? I think it's a good thing as well, because when you're in real life, that is how we talk. You don't just stick on the one little thing, because sometimes you can have a conversation and you beat it out too much and there's nothing left to talk about. So one conversation leads on to another conversation, what obviously leads on to another conversation, and that's how it is in actual life.
That's
So if
in
someone has
real
come in
life.
late,
Like,
then they would have missed the first part of the conversation where we was having that conversation, and then it's turned and twisted, and that's what naturally happens. Do you know what I mean? So that's down to the person not tuning in at the time when you've gone live. Not to say there's anything wrong with it, but they can always watch the replay if they like, or they could always just put the words in the chat room. Do you know what I mean? And we can go over stuff again what they've missed. It's not a big deal in that type of way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I think for the most part, nobody really minds when you go off topic, because it's content. It's content. So we good. We good.
oh yeah, and this is like, and then we're just having fun. Now
Right.
we're having fun, and
Yeah.
we're pretty much laying loose.
It's true, because sometimes when you talk about doom and gloom, which you was doing in the beginning, not mean, like, it's always nice to come out with something positive and nice and keep you kicking before we leave. Because sometimes if you have that like negative down energy when you go to sleep, and that down energy, you know what I mean, it's not a good thing. That it's the same like if you get in an argument with someone, they say you can't go to sleep without clearing it up first, because it brings bad things on you. Same with the conversations. You can't leave it in a negative, horrible way. It's got to end in a positive note.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. You absolutely right. So sometimes they end on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I feel your girlfriend.
Yeah, because it's true. Because like, if you think about it, if we kept on talking about the first subject we were talking about, and then obviously you go to sleep on that, that's the last thing in your mind, and it's not a nice thought to have, because it keeps repeating itself. Do you know what I mean? So you're not supposed to go to bed with any kind of negative energy or something that makes you feel down. You're supposed to be uplifted. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Right. You're absolutely right. And I'm glad everybody enjoys our panels and enjoys our topics. They really do. I hear it from a lot of people a lot.
But you got some
really?
haters too.
Yeah. Well, no, that is every channel though. I'd be so surprised. I'll go to somebody's live and they could be talking about roses. They could be talking about just the most wonderful thing that happened. And you'll see somebody give them a thumbs down before the video even gets started. And I'm like, it's a troll.
Yeah.
Or it could be a hater, because it's not always trolls. Sometimes it's other YouTubers that will thumbs down your video.
Of course. But, you know, like I always say, even if people thumbs down, you thank them and you wish them well. And that's it. Keep it moving. I know for a fact that sometimes it bothers people. But as YouTube says, it doesn't matter whether you got a thumbs up or a thumbs down, because that still counts as someone viewing it. And YouTube don't see it as a negative thing. So, I mean, they just see it as a thing like they like your channel. That's why they've been on here in the first place. But they probably don't like the conversation, or they probably don't like the subject matter, what's going to be discussed. And that's it. That's why YouTube won't use that to go against you. They use it to go with you. Do you know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people don't understand. So when they're thumbing down, it's like, oh, great, I've got my figures up more. That's technically what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been on some channels, and I'm telling you now, Dave, had thousands of thumbs down. Thousands. And it still counts towards them. And they still make loads of money when they're being monetized.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Some people get like 500 thumbs down, 200 thumbs up. It does not matter. They still, if it's monetized, they get paid.
They're still getting paid. So. Exactly. It doesn't affect anything. And that's what makes me laugh, because like these people who think it's going to put something negative on your channel, they're wrong, because they obviously haven't read the rules and they don't understand the terms and conditions.
Right.
That's why you wish them well and just laugh. Do you know what I mean?
And I'm getting more used to that, because at first I would be like, not like I would be all outraged or nothing, but I would look and I'd be like, why they thumbs me down? You know, I would be like, why? What? You know, and then when I would go to other people's videos and I would see hundreds and hundreds of thumbs down, and I know it's a great video, I'm like, okay, them is just haters. Them is just
exactly.
It's just haters.
Exactly. So you wish them well. That's what I mean. So you wish them well and send them on the way, and that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting
but I don't know. Should I talk about this?
Talk about what, Mark?
Uh-oh.
About what you told me a couple of days ago.
What I told? Oh my God! About what?
About the pub.
Oh my goodness, Mark! You cannot go on then. Lord.
Okay, so we were talking the other day, right? And so I don't know how the hell we got on the conversation, but we were talking the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling me, I don't know how the hell it came up, but we were talking about something, and then she was like, it just came out of the blue. It was like, well, like I was in line to go to a pub. That's what they call it in England.
Mm-hmm.
I was in line to go to a pub, and the guy told us not to go inside because they're planning on burning it down to collect the insurance money.
What?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The guy told me was like, don't go inside because we're planning on burning it down to collect the insurance money.
What the what?
Yeah.
Did it get burned down?
Oh yeah, they went playing the burnt it down that night. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They really did it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Girl.
Wow.
I was done. Yeah, I fell out laughing, girl. That was crazy.
And they didn't get them from arson, or
no, because nobody
nobody snitched.
No, where we live, you keep your mouth quiet and mind your
own business.
To
say I wouldn't snitch. I'm just saying. Hey.
Oh no, like they're not no murderers. That's why they're
if they want to burn their place down, burn it down, burn it down.
I was telling, and this is the part that I was saying. I was telling her, like, if that would have happened in London, Tanya, in the uppity parts of London, oh, they would have went to Scotland Yard so damn quick.
I mean, like the roof
is on fire.
No water.
Girl, but yeah, they would
Yeah.
have went to Scotland Yard real quick and snitched on them.
And that's what I mean. It's like we say, the environment where you brought up or how you're around people and whatever. You know what I mean? Somebody's forewarning you not to go in the pub because they're going to burn it down to collect the insurance money. Of course you're going to listen. Why would you go and say something? They've saved your life. Do you know what I mean? Because you could have gone in there, gone in the bathroom, the place burnt down around you and burn you up in there.
Right.
But, oh no.
I don't want
They're
no
making sure that
drink
nobody's in
bad.
there. So nobody said the place burnt right down. I was like, okay, cool.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
Well, they
What?
got their massive payout. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't far from £1 million. So,
I'm sorry, somebody's doing really well right now.
yeah. I mean, they've built like a car park on there now and a shopping place where you can go and buy groceries and stuff like that. So yeah, they made a lot of money.
Yeah, but like I was telling her, I was like, yeah, you better not go to Chelsea or Kensington. This is all fancy smancy snobbish white areas of London. And honey, they will snitch on you real quick over there.
Oh wow. Lord.
They will tell. I've been to London actually, Tanya.
Really?
This was like maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah, some of those areas are uppity and snobbish and you know, ugh.
Wow.
And they will be real quick to snitch on your ass real quick.
The people down them sides, they will be very quick to dial 999. Very quick, yeah.
Very quick.
Down here, you mind your business, you keep it moving, you go on your way, and that's it.
Keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean. I'm like, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will snitch on you real quick over there in Chelsea and Kensington and the West End.
Yeah.
In London, real fast. And I'm like, no, this ain't my cup of tea. I'm not, no, bye. Like I went to there's an area in Tanya in London called Brixton. It's like it's all Caribbean and stuff, and it's a really really cool spot in London. Like it's really really cool.
But don't misunderstand Brixton though, because as soon as it's gone like maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, it's ratchet.
Yeah, very ratchet. Yeah, Brixton can be very ratchet.
You will have
I've heard of that place, Brixton. I think I heard of that place. Not like anything specific. You know, I think
Brixton's a place where the majority of the black people will go. We've got our own food shops, our market, stuff like that. But like I say, gone 3 o'clock in the morning, it turns ratchet. You'll get the black guys robbing you and all kind of whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Stabbing you up, doing all sorts.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's like
don't know that. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's like when night falls on the west side of Chicago. Okay, it's like you know better not to be hanging out around there.
Yeah.
Don't be hanging around the subway.
Yeah, the L in Chicago. You better not be hanging out around there.
He didn't catch that crazy.
Oh, talking of Chicago, I'm not 100% sure if Ms. Tanya knows or has an idea of this. Mark, I'm going to talk about that. I think they said about 29 black females have been murdered in Chicago, and they believe it's a serial killer. Have you heard of that, Ms. Tanya?
I heard about it, but I haven't really looked into it.
Right, because I was going to ask you a couple of questions on that, because I obviously don't fully know the story, the extent.
This is
We can discuss that on another hangout if you like.
Yeah, I would love that. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's really weird, because I've noticed like it's kind of hushed up over here. So it's not really known. I've only seen it like maybe once or twice on the internet. I've not seen it on national news.
Yeah, they said 51 women.
They're saying 51 now.
Well, actually, hold on. Let me look.
I thought they said 29 black women.
Hold on.
Yes, please.
Because hold up. Let's see. Hold on. Let me type it in. Well, I typed that in, but okay, this is what I'm finding. This is what I'm finding.
Mm-hmm.
And this was on May 29th, so about a month ago. They
Okay.
said serial killer in Chicago ? 51 women murdered by strangulation since 2001.
Oh damn.
That's a lot, huh?
Yeah.
51.
It's really weird because it emphasized on. I thought they said 29 or 39.
Well, it might have been
females.
Like, it might have been. They might have said like maybe 29 of them were black. But I will look into that. And because also I see somewhere else here online it says this was a different year. Oh, never mind. This was a different year.
Mm-hmm.
But they said most of them are. Man, all this advertisement. Oh yeah, that's a totally different story. Yeah. Okay, yep. So yeah, it says is it a killer on the loose in Chicago? That's what they're discussing. Is it a killer in Chicago? A serial killer. Let me reword that. Is there a serial killer on the loose in Chicago? And it's showing pictures of all these women. Wow. And they said it's basically 51 unsolved cases.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
For one city, and they're all being murdered the same exact way.
Damn.
So it makes you wonder.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, we're gonna have to discuss it in depth in another session because, like, that's something to actually talk about and make more people be aware about. Because, like, if it's got up to 51, surely there's not enough coverage on it, and people are not covering it. So other females know exactly what's happened, so they have an idea of who to be around, who not to be around, kind of thing, to watch out a little bit more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and we got to find out like what type of women these were. Like, were they normal housewives? Were they mothers? Were they on the street? Were they, figure out, what type of women most of them were who were
exactly
murdered.
Where were all these where are the bodies found? Like, what kind of condition were they in? Was it in daytime? Did they believe it was nighttime? Do you know what I mean? We need to know the facts so it can be out there so people can understand and be more aware. It's like if somebody's getting robbed, you need to know as well because it happened at a certain time. You could be more aware. They've got a visual idea of what the person looks like, possibly. Because surely after 51 murders, they must have had some kind of DNA or something.
Yeah.
Surely, because that is a lot.
Yeah, that's almost, and I mean, when you break it down, excuse me, when you break it down, it comes to about 3 women a year. But one thing about serial murderers or rapists or things like that, they don't necessarily do a whole bunch of them. They do like a few here, then they'll take some time off per se. Then they'll do a few more because they don't want to risk being caught, but they want to keep the pattern going because they like being chased in a way.
Yeah.
They like being chased. They like being sought out. They like being mysterious in a way. So, yeah, that would be, I'm down with that. That'd be a good time.
Yeah. It needs to be discussed, and obviously Mark will have a good insight into that because Mark's from Chicago.
Yeah, Mark.
So,
yeah, I mean,
yes.
I haven't heard about it.
Well, we're gonna have to dig in. We'll have to dig in.
This is news to me. The only murders I've heard is people getting shot.
And that's the thing, Lazy and Mark. A lot of stuff, you know what? That's why I like YouTube and I like commentators, people who do reviews and stuff on trending news or hot topics or things like that. A lot of things. Do you know how many people subscribe to my channel? Like even my own family, they be like, "I never heard that before."
Yeah.
Remember the babies? I did the story on all those babies they found, the fetuses in the funeral homes in where was it, in Michigan?
Yeah.
In Detroit. People are like, what? When? This year? 50
Yeah,
babies in the ceiling? What? In Detroit? I mean, a lot of people don't be knowing because a lot of these things that happen, it doesn't get widespread publicity.
exactly.
But the murders in Chicago with the shootings and stuff that made worldwide news.
Yeah, but
No,
not
I
the
mean, not
situations.
no. What it is, Mark, yeah, because in Chicago it's known a place for high crime and people being murdered a lot. That's why it's not
So it's nothing
highlighted.
new. It's nothing new.
Exactly. So that's why it's not highlighted. Because I was very shocked when I came across it and I stumbled across it about there being a serial killer killing on these black females. Do you know what I mean? I was like, wait, hold on. How come it's not been like publicized so people are aware? Do you know what I mean? But like I said, because there's normal crime that goes in Chicago, to them it's neither here nor
Yeah, because
there.
it's predominantly like the minorities that are getting murdered in Chicago.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's the minorities that's predominantly getting murdered in
Mhm.
Chicago.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're
Exactly.
right. You're right. Well, that'll be a good topic. We could do so. I don't know, you guys, always hit me up in my IG and we
Sure.
set it up. And Glazy, I'm still waiting on you to start doing content so we can bring us to you.
Oh, you know what? I'm too shy.
Don't
I'm
be
too shy
shy.
for them things. You know what I
Don't
mean,
be
I'm not even a blogger. Like I like helping other people and just you know what I mean, riding it out kind of thing. So
shy. Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I think I'll just leave it at that.
But I think you would
You know
have
what
an
I mean?
awesome channel. I really do think you would have an awesome
Oh,
channel.
thank you. I mean, everything like what I like, you guys already do. So I'm just very happy just to jump on your channels and just chat
Oh,
away and whatever. Do you know what I
oh.
mean?
Well,
Yeah.
we appreciate you, right, Mark? We really
Yeah, we do.
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
That's sweet, Sonia. Yeah. Oh, and can I just say, like, that story you brought, I forget his name now, you brought up about that young chap, the black young man who went to jail. Do you remember when we was on the panel and he was distributing that child that he'd abused? You get my drift what I'm talking about. Do you remember?
Hold on. What? Hold on now. What child?
Remember I think he was 16, 17, 18 at the time. And
Oh, you
you know
talking
what I'm
about
talking
when they see us and that?
that guy. No, no, no. When you know that young chap, remember you read it in the paper that day, about that young chap who was getting taken to prison, but all the other boys who were younger than him, nothing's happening with them. And I turned around and said that he should be in jail for distributing the video he took off the girl and she was underage
Oh,
and
the
stuff like
13, yeah,
that.
the 13-year
Oh,
old.
Yeah, you
That,
know what I'm talking
you
about
do
now.
so
Yeah.
many stories. I'm like, okay, okay, I'm with you now. I'm with.
Right, that one, I thought that was such a superb subject, and everybody gave the input, and not one other YouTuber talked about that specific story. And
Wow.
I was very surprised as I was waiting for other content providers to talk about it, and they never did. So the stories what you talk about more time still is very unique. And that's what I love about your channel, because you would go and grab something what no one else has brought up about and do research on it. Do you know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
great commentary. It really, really does. Yeah.
I
I love
tried.
that. That
I
story will
tried.
stick in my mind for a long time. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause especially when I had that lady ringing, I forget her name now, when the lady ringing who works from like the justice type of place, and she rung
Yeah.
in and gave her views on it. It was such a great interview that night. I really enjoyed. I actually didn't even want it to end. It was such a good subject.
Yes, it
Like
was.
I'm just looking forward to the other ones.
Yes, it was. It was absolutely good. And I try to a lot of things when they be trending, I can't help but to talk about it because
Yeah,
people want to hear about it
yeah,
or people should know about it. But sometimes I'll just be like, I'm about to talk about this. I might not have seen nobody else talking about it, but I think it's important.
yeah.
So I just
Right.
I just go with it. But yeah, I try to talk about stuff that is need to know basis, not just
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, besides
Mm-hmm.
my TV show, reality shows, reviews and stuff. Whenever
Yeah.
I talk about something like in the news, I try to talk about stuff that people actually need or should know.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's.
Oh, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you something what happened in work. Not when working now,
Mm-hmm.
like a couple of years back. And this person's crazy. I'm just going to take it up out there. Now, no, I'm being dead. When I say the story, you're going to be like, what the dickens? Now, check the joke. What happened was, do you know, like when you're in work and you, I don't know, sometimes people can rub you up the wrong way or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And every Friday, I don't know if it happens in America as well, but every Friday, like someone will bring something in, you know, into work to eat and share with people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they bring cakes and sweets and biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my thing is this year, if they don't give me the cake or the biscuit first, or I put my fingers in there first, I ain't touching it if somebody else's hands has gone in it.
I feel
yeah, because I'm very, very funny, and I'm very funny because of people's hands touching stuff and breathing over food. I'm very funny that way. So I remember it was one Friday. I'll say I was working at the gas board, and I was doing the anyway, forget what I was doing, but I was working at the gas board anyway. And somebody had gone to Marks and Spencer's, which is a high class food shop, and I bought these fancy donuts. And they put them on the desk, and he said, "Oh, we'll have 11s." Do you know what I mean? So 11 o'clock, get a donut, get a coffee, hot drink, or whatever. It's fine. And it was really funny. This Asian girl says to me, "Don't touch the donuts." And I went, "Well, I'm not going to, because people have already touched the bag and put the nose near the bag, so I wasn't going to anyway." She went, "Oh, right, but don't touch them anyway." I said, "Why?" And she goes, "Oh, no, it's just that I want someone to have a certain donut." Do you know what I mean? And I went, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, there's only one chocolate donut, and it's for someone specific, so I don't want nobody to touch it." And I went, "Well, don't go around saying that to anybody else, because they're going to think you're a weirdo." That was it. So everybody's reaching in for the donuts and whatever, and she actually took the chocolate out one to give to another girl. And Miss Tanya, Mark, I was horrified, because as the girl was going to bite the donut, do you know what I mean? This lad come from out of nowhere and said, "Oh, can I have the chocolate one? Instead, can you swap it for the jam one?" So the girl said, "Yeah." And the Asian girl who said to me not to touch the donuts jumped dead quick and smacked the donut out of the guy's hand. And I was like, why has she done that?
Oh,
Miss Tanya, do you know what the girl had done? And this is funny. They ended up having to call the police. She'd put razor blade in the donut.
What?
Yeah.
What? And who did she? I don't even want to ask who did she want to eat it.
She wanted the other girl to eat it. It was like, why?
But a razor
police on her.
Really?
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. And I'm like, in my mind, I was thinking, what the hell? And what had happened is, and it didn't dawn on me at first, you know what I mean? It was only afterwards when I was thinking about it. The girl who she wanted to give the donut to cut her up in her mouth, yeah, she'd been mentally bullying this girl for months, and she couldn't take it anymore. So she put razor blades in the damn donut. Do you know what I mean? To give to the girl. And if the girl didn't swap it out with that guy, she would have been cut the blooming up in her mouth.
That's boy. She could have killed somebody.
This is what I'm saying, Miss Tanya. So, Miss Tanya, you see from that, I don't put my hands on nothing. If somebody offers me food, I'm full. If someone offers me drink, I'm full. Do you know what I'm saying? I can be hungry and I could be thirsty, but I'm not taking no
Gonna take it from you.
Hell no. Hell no.
I don't blame you one bit. I'm really pissed.
Not at all. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it just goes to show the extent what people will do when you keep goating them. Do you know what I mean? Like, the girl never had anything positive to say to the other girl. She was putting her down, belittling her, making her feel bad. I kept saying to her, just stand up for yourself. And then I just walk off and leave it as well. I'm not getting involved. You're old enough to deal with it yourself. But, do you know what I mean? Maybe if she did have that support system more, do you know what I mean? This could have stopped. But you can only stop a bully when you stand up to them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to murder them. Oh, hell no.
I can't believe that. See, that's, I guess.
Exactly. And there was another story, so I got to hear another one, where I used to sit next to this girl called Jenny, this black girl. And in the offices, yeah, you always have a policy. You lock your desktop before you go anywhere.
Yeah.
Miss Tanya, this girl was always getting up, kicking, laughing, doing whatever. And I saw, I don't know, some guy from another nation come to her desk now and again and do twiddle, 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 then go off. And because I mind my own business, I don't know what he was doing there, Miss Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Next minute, the police are coming to arrest Jenny for stealing customers' money.
What?
But it wasn't her. It wasn't her. It was the guy that jumped on her computer.
Oh wow! And see, that's
Yeah.
like most companies, you can get in big trouble if you don't lock your, Control Alt Delete.
Exactly.
Lock your computer down because you don't
Exactly.
never know. You don't never know.
Exactly. So what happened is Jenny went to jail, and she was sitting in jail, and the guy, and said, do you know what? This is the funny thing, because where were this actor? The guy was still working there. The guy felt guilty because he was actually her friend, and if he didn't go to the police station and hold his hand, she would have done time in jail. So what ended up happening, she come back to work now, and they begged her, do you know what I mean, to work back for them, do you know what I mean? And she negotiated a massive pay rise because they were very quick to call the police. They didn't investigate, they didn't look on no cameras, they didn't do anything. They automatically believed it was Jenny because it was done at her station, even though she'd done wrong by leaving her computer open. Check how she got away with it, because she argued the fact that if a manager asks you to give them the password to get in the computer, you have to give it to them. So that's how she argued and was able to get her job back. So she was just making it plain and simple. Whether the computer was open or not, when managers say, give me your password, or they're ringing you at home, or you've locked something, we need to get it open, give me your password so I can get in and unlock it. That is how she managed to get away with that. Do you know what I mean? But she wasn't stealing the money. The guy siphoned off the customer's money into another account. It was awful. He'd been doing it for months. He'd been doing it for months.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I don't play that. Every time I leave my, I work from home during the daytime. And even though during the school year or whatnot, my kids be at school or they be at work, but even if they're not, I don't play that stuff. I have to lock my computer. And that's one thing, when you work from home, employers trust you or depend on you to lock your computer down, even if you got kids that you think won't do anything or get in your computer or anything like that. But I don't play that. I lock my computer down all the time when I walk away from my work computer.
Yeah, you have to.
You never know.
Exactly. You know what I mean? There's so many policies they put in place now. Do you know what I mean? Like, if anything happens, it comes on yourself. Like me personally, I've had to learn from experience. If anybody says anything, have that conversation in black and white. Because I'm telling you now, if you don't have email trace, they will lie on you, Lord. But that's another conversation we'll have to go into next time. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely have to. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, I look forward to having that next chat about the possible serial killer in Chicago. I'm looking forward to that because that should be really good.
I agree.
I'm just looking at all these suggestions because you guys, I've been trying to figure out what we should call ourselves in this platform. It's Tanya's Primetime TV, and I've just been using like Primetime Squad. So somebody had said primers, somebody had said primes, somebody had said PT Squad for Primetime Squad. I don't know. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna stick with Primetime Squad.
Yeah,
because that's a hard one. That's a hard one to try to abbreviate or find a cute name for. So I don't know, but I like the people's suggestions. People be always sending me suggestions. Yeah. Somebody said PYTs for prime YouTubers. So I thought that was kind of cool. That one right there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to.
The young things.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like
Right.
Tracy did, and all the names that I get, I'm gonna eventually put them all up and have like a poll or something like that.
Right.
So that's what we'll do.
Yeah, that'd be good a suggestion. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but you guys, our next time we do a Google Hangout, like tomorrow, I'm I don't even think I don't know if I'll even be online tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I might use tomorrow as a rest day.
Well, we're supposed to be going live with Leak tomorrow, right?
That's at 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least that's early. That's early.
Yeah.
I could be out of church by then. I mean, I'm cool with watching other people because when I'm not on, I'm watching either YouTube or Hulu or Netflix. I hardly ever watch TV anymore.
Yeah, I watch a YouTube channel called Throwing Shade TV.
What's that called?
Give me one. Sorry, Throwing Shade TV.
That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing Shade TV. Let me look that up so I can put it on my watch laters.
Also, Tanya, as you're looking for that, do you like watching like Jamaican comedies type of thing?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I like watching all kind of stuff. Like a lot of my favorite shows, no stuff. On Hulu and Netflix, they have a lot of shows that are in England or in London or a lot of drama series and stuff. I love those.
I'm gonna give you a suggestion for a Jamaican. It's an old one. It's a Jamaican film.
Okay.
But it's so funny.
Okay.
After you've searched for that one Mark told you, I'll tell you the name of it. And then you can look it up very quickly and see if you can find it and watch it because it is quite funny.
Okay.
Like, reminds me back in the day. It's so good. I love the old time classics. They're like the best. Some of the things that they're making these days are just boring and trash, but
I know
they're amazing.
And I think that's why so many people tune into YouTube because cable is like cable. You know, when cable first came out years ago, it was like the stuff. But now it's like they play the same stuff over and over and over, and then it charges more every year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I've been contemplating for like the last 10 years to get rid of my cable, and I never get rid of it.
Yeah.
But I hear so many people, they act like their life is just 100% better without cable, or at least their pockets are. I don't know about their life, but a lot of people got rid of cable and don't even care. It doesn't even bother them. But me, it seems like I just can't let go.
Yeah.
Were you able to find it?
I think I found it. It says it actually says Throwing Shade TV Land. Is that it?
I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah, it says Throwing Shade, and then it has like a line, and then it says TV Land.
I think that's it.
Okay, well hold on because hold on. Okay, I just subscribed to it. It said Throwing Shade, and then it's TV Land. So yeah,
okay, TV Land.
Then it got like 94,000 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably it. Yeah. So I just subscribed.
Cool. Now it's Tanya. I'll tell you the name of the film.
Okay, go ahead.
Hopefully you'll be able to find it somewhere online. It's called Smile Orange.
Smile Orange.
Yeah.
Okay, is it from like 1976?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to watch it, have a good laugh and a joke.
I hope so.
Flashback memories from back in the day when you was a child and the way how your parents were. I love things like that.
I hope so. I'm gonna I looked it up, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add this to my favorites so I can come back to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I added it on my favorites, the screen or the the website. So I can take it back out so I can go back to it.
Yeah, because I think, like I say, sometimes like if you're feeling a bit down or not feeling all together, you can put that on, watch it, have a laugh and a joke, and feel better.
Oh
and
yeah,
always, like I said, about ending the night on a positive, you know.
Yeah, I love comedy. I like all kind of TV shows, and that's why my TV shows range from The Handmaid's Tale to Love and Hip Hop Atlanta to Queen Sugar to I have a a wide genre for TV shows when it comes to TV shows.
I used to watch that Queen Sugar, and then when it was revealed that Blue didn't belong to that guy, it totally put me off the show.
Really?
Yeah, and from that time I've not watched it since because it put me off, because I just thought it was like very cruel and mean not to make him be his father. So to make out like the girl who had the child, she was up and down. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't like that because it was putting a negative look on a female. Do you know what I mean? Because they'd already put a negative look on all the females done already, and for me that was too much. Because the main character, she's sleeping with someone else because her husband slept with somebody else and had a child with somebody else. Her sister was sleeping with the policeman who was already married with somebody else. And I'm thinking, why is it every single black girl in this show has got something negative and cannot keep themselves quiet? Do you know what I mean? And they're sleeping around. So when they done it again with Blue's mother, I thought, I'm out, because I didn't know Oprah Winfrey was going to make every single black female feel like they sleep around. And I didn't like that, because that is not a positive look to put
image
on
for black women.
Exactly. And I didn't like it, because if it was her playing that character, she would not have her character sleeping around and doing all sorts. So
because she was a white woman, right?
No, she's I think she's actually mixed.
Okay, she's a
mix.
mix. Oh, she's like me, mixed.
Yeah, I think she has a white mother. I think.
And that's the thing, they never actually shown her parents.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
If they did, I think it was just one. I think they showed her parents maybe in 1 or 2 episodes. But I remember them being really strict.
Yeah.
And I think I think one of them was white, if I remember correct. I don't remember. I don't remember. Now y'all can have me do some research. Every time I can't remember something, I always gotta look it up.
Yeah. You don't want to remember wrong or think, oh yeah, I thought it was this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I thought her mother was the same skin tone as her.
She might have. Maybe it was her dad who was white then. I don't know, but yeah, one of them was white, I think. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But
like I said, it put me off. It really did. Like, when they did that with her, I said, nope, I'm out. And that was it. It was over and done with that show for me, because I want to see black women doing well. I'm sick and tired of seeing black women in TV shows being prostitutes, being put down, sleeping around, making out like, do you know what I mean? We'll do anything to make money. It's like, why do you have to keep doing this? Why?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's so many ways you can write a black female from being, obviously we're all born from a certain way, but doing well in life and coming over it. And I've not seen not one yet. And I truly thought Oprah Winfrey was going to be the one woman who was going to have upliftment for black females and show us that we don't need to behave certain ways. We don't need to ratchet. We can move forward and do good. But nope. Once again, every single.
They know what sells, honey. They know what sells.
Yeah.
They know what sells. But yeah, today we had a nice hangout.
We did. We can talk
about
England. That's the truth.
Yes, and I appreciate everybody who joined in and everybody who commented in the comment section, and everybody who had their different opinions and shared their different opinions. And Miss Kate Love for calling in and giving us her.
Thank you, Miss Kate.
Yes, her experience as a educator for over 40 years. I love her. I'm like, she only called in. We just met her, and I just love her whole personality. And she seems like a really nice lady. So hopefully she'll be around to see other lives of ours and other hangouts and everything.
I always enjoy our hangout. It's so
Me
nice.
too.
Me too.
Me too. It's fun. It's fun. And it's nice to get different views and opinions.
And I think it's nice when, like, you ask if somebody wants to call in, like, someone always wants to call in and give their opinion on something. And, like, even the caliber of type of people that come in your room, like, they're always somebody in education. Or, do you know what I mean? Somebody high up. And that is really, really nice. Like, you've never had, like, anybody, you know, in a negative way in your room.
And it's really cool. I mean, I think about that a lot of times. I'm like, let me knock on wood, you know, but yeah, so far, you know, and I'm still, you know, I'm not big like a lot of people out here as far as subscribers and stuff. So to have people watching and commentating and looking forward to our next videos, that's all love. And that's why I appreciate everybody, you know, who tunes in and everybody who supports, everybody who shares the video out, and, you know, the likes, everything, the thumbs up, everything. So yeah, it's very appreciated. So I'm about to get off of here. What y'all about to do? Glazy, what time is it over there? It's like morning time, right?
Yeah, 4 almost 4:30 in the morning over there.
Now, you got anything to do, like early morning, or
no? I'm just gonna
you can, like, sleep in and lounge around and
well, at the moment I've got conditioner on my hair.
Oh, okay.
I steamed it and then I've been deep conditioning.
Yeah, she has a bonnet on.
That's what I need to do. I need to wash my hair, but will I do it tonight? Probably not. I'll probably do it tomorrow.
That's the one thing. Why does our hair always take hours to do? Like, blimey, it takes hours.
I hate doing my hair. I really hate. I rather wash dishes, clean the restroom, fold laundry,
throw shade.
I hate washing my hair. Mark said throw shade.
I'm joking. I think I know how to be naturally funny when I want to be.
Yeah, Mark, you're cool.
You are. That is so true.
But you guys, we gotta make sure. Remember, should I put the links in for the 2 channels I was telling you about? Beauty. Okay, let me put the links in because I want to make sure you guys hit those up, because, like I said, that one platform called Grand Central Station. I think that might really. I'm hoping that might really do some good. That panel for YouTube, as far as trying to stop people from doxing and stalking, and I'm hoping that's where it will lead.
Who are the people in the panel?
Oh, it's 4 people. It's Joyce from Beauty by. That's why I'm gonna put her channel on there too. But it's Beauty by Joyce Vlogs, and it's Neptarian, and it's Billie Jean, and it's a 4th person. What is her name? Dazzle Lviv, something like that.
Okay, I think I've seen that girl.
Yeah, something like that.
Before, I think.
Yeah, she's a moderator and she does makeup and, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm hoping that's where it'll lead to. So, you know, we shall see. But matter of fact, they live right now, so I'll probably tune in to they're live on Joyce is live right now. So
yeah, I'm already subscribed to her channel.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put the link in here for everybody who might not know. But I'm gonna put the link in for Joyce's channel, and I'm also gonna put the link in for their panel channel, which is called Grand Central Station.
Okay.
So yeah, let me go ahead and do that real quick, like.
Thank you for that, Miss Tanya.
No problem at all. Okay, let's see. Events. See, with this Google Hangout stuff, it's a little bit different from OBS.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit longer to open up the live. And okay, so here's the first one. I'm typing it in now. Beauty by Joyce Vlogs. I'm gonna put her link in here. Okay, I put that one in there. Now let me go get the Grand Central Station. Grand Central. Where'd it go? Oh man. Let's see. It's only 10:30. Well, I gotta go to church in the morning, but our church services don't start early like the people's. We don't have to be at church till like 10:30-ish. Something like that. Unless you want to go to Sunday school.
Mm.
And don't judge me, but I do not go to Sunday school. I'll be still asleep while they up there in Sunday school. And the pastor be like, now y'all know y'all can make it to Sunday school. I'll be like, pastor. I'm going to get there. But okay, here's the Grand Central Station one. Ooh, they doing good. They got 468 subscribers already. So Grand Central Station. Okay, I got those links in there. So you guys, whoever's watching, if you guys come in later, make sure you check out those 2 links that I posted in there. For Beauty by Joyce Vlogs. They talk a lot about the bad, negative stuff that's going on YouTube. They trying to, get the word out. Who does what to who, stuff like that. And then they started the Grand Central Station channel because they're trying to, from what I can tell, their goal is, they just started now. It's a new channel, but their goal is to try to make people want to stop doing these certain bad things to people on YouTube. So check it out. And we shall talk about it. Next time we do a panel, we can talk about it.
Sure.
Right. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to get off of here. We've been on here almost 4 hours, y'all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
It's like 3.5 hours we've been on here.
Blimey. I didn't have a clue.
The time was just flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have fun.
I know.
The topics and whatever,
Yep, I'm gonna get me something to eat and pour me something to drink and sit around here and just, I guess, scroll on the internet and find something to watch. Cause I have to pick my son up. I think at 11. So I'm gonna make me something to eat real quick and watch a little YouTube until he calls. And let me know when to pick him up. My youngest son, my oldest son, I think he's at his girlfriend's house, my oldest son. But
yeah.
Anywho, I'm home alone. Yes, I love being home alone. No kids in the house. It's just complete silence. Complete silence. But you know how it is. Once that silence is too silent, too long, then I'm like, where y'all at?
Yeah.
When y'all coming home? They be like, Mom, you miss us? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But thanks you guys for tuning in tonight. And thanks for helping me with the panel and everything. You guys rock.
Sure. No worries, Miss Tanya.
Yeah. Thank you for having us.
No problem. All right, y'all. As usual, Primetime Squad. In the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and we are out. Deuces.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.